Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Sunday Cinema, where we are watching a fantastic movie that, for some reason, they decided to film in black and white. I don't know. That was whoever who directed it.
Spiel,
Spielberg's
Spiel, Spielberg.
Spielberg's sister. Yeah, but anyhow, with me, I got Mikey, PvP, and Daniel's Hot Topic. How are you guys doing?
Doing okay. Well, I just put my laundry in the dryer, and the laundry room only
We're
had
doing
one other person
awesome!
using the dryer.
Yay!
That is a blessing because we got three washers, three dryers. When you go down there when you need your undies clean, and all the washers and dryers are going, it's like shit. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but I lucked out tonight.
No, I don't know
Probably
how
in a
that
couple.
feels,
Oh my
PvP, because
god.
I got my own
Okay.
washer and dryer and I got clothesline.
You lucky bastard.
Y'all come out to the sticks here. Move to the
Yeah,
United
well,
States and get have your own washer and dryer.
there was a
Well,
time when I didn't live in an
yeah, well,
apartment and I didn't have to
make
put up
that,
with this crap. But
yeah, make that two
apartment
lucky
life.
bastards. We have our own watch, so.
Wow, your fridge conked out. You said, Mikey. So actually feel bad for you, man. Like, jeez, that kind of sucks having your fridge die. I hope you didn't lose too many groceries, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you
Well,
could
we're,
always
we're
just
gonna try to get
cook
a
stuff
new
up, I
fridge
guess.
tomorrow because the freezer just
Eat as much
completely
as you can.
died. Oh, well, yeah, no, oh, for sure. Yeah, well, we've been eating some
Yeah, I
stuff
got my
today, but
freezer.
we
My
were able
freezer's
to
full of
salvage
frozen.
a lot of stuff.
Hopefully, yeah. Jeez, I got a freezer full of stuff, and if my fridge
Yeah, we
conked
have
out,
a big freezer.
I'd be tossing out like $100 worth of frozen stuff for sure. So.
Only $100? What
Well,
did you get?
Yeah.
I got a small fridge. It's an apartment fridge, right? I don't have one of those ginormous, freezers that you could put bodies in, like if you were a serial killer or something, right?
I
It's
haven't
just
tested out. I haven't tested out a body yet in this one.
you probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't, Gorilla.
To the NSAH that's listening, this is for
Yeah,
entertainment
anybody.
purposes only.
Yeah,
I have no body in my freezer there. And hey there, Jerem. How's it going?
I gotta say, on Friday at work, I actually talked to a federal U.S. Investigator for the federal government when I scheduled a meeting for him. So that was kind of interesting. He was a very nice guy, though. You know, probably until he puts the handcuffs on you, and then he probably wouldn't be as nice.
No, have them come through your building with their hands on their hips and telling you to get your ass into the break room while rounding everybody up in the building. Oh that was a
Oh,
fun day.
by
I'll
the
tell you
way,
that.
yeah, yeah. By the way, PvP, I hope you're okay. I heard there was fires over in Kamloops. Is that too
Uh,
far from you? Or close?
Kamloops, yeah, Kamloops
There
is
was a
probably a
fire in
couple hours.
Kamloops.
It's like probably at least a 2.5 hour drive away, so that's quite a ways. So I haven't smelled no smoke in the air
Okay,
yet.
good. Okay.
Usually when we get the fires going, Mikey, like occasionally in the summer we could have weeks and weeks where you got to close all the windows because the smoke gets so heavy and smells, really really bad if you get one close by, right? And we did have a fire like 20 years ago that actually came into the city and burned like 200 homes down. So I know all about how bad the fires can be because that was pretty scary.
Dang.
Yeah, it's only like maybe 5 miles away from where I live, right? There's like a whole hillside of homes that just got torched. The fire just went through, burned
Right?
them all down. And they were like, on
Oh
the
my
hill, right?
gosh.
These are homes with people that have like swimming pools and these were expensive homes, a lot of them too, right? It was like one of those, high class, so-called high priced areas of the city, if not high class. But yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It can
Oh, that
happen.
sucks.
Yeah.
So Daniel here, hasn't seen the movie.
No?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is going to be
Ooh,
fun.
we better. Yeah. So let's get started because we got another
Yeah,
person in the thing here. So let me go
yeah,
ahead and hit
well,
play.
it's a long movie anyway, so let's get going for sure, Gorilla.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of people in your watch party, by the way. Like half a dozen or something here,
Yeah.
looks like. That's nice.
Yeah. 5 people or 6 people. 5 people.
You got any? Is there sound on this movie, or is it black and white and silent?
It should sound. No, it's
Okay,
not silent.
I'm not hearing any sound so far, so that's why I asked. I thought maybe you want to check.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, we're probably good.
Yeah, I hear it. They just went with the silent universal thing.
Okay. I'm used to the music, right? Usually.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this.
Tim, how are you doing?
How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Hakeem, hey Hakeem, welcome.
Hey Hakeem, we literally just got started.
Yeah, we just started like 10 seconds ago.
No, this is about the Holocaust. There, a guy who saved a bunch of the Jews.
I guess it did start in color, like present day in color, right? Like I forgot this bit. I remember it mostly in black and white.
Now it went black and white.
Oh, okay. When the fire dies.
And I loved. Okay.
That's kind of symbolic, isn't it?
I loved Gorilla's description. Yeah, no, and I love that Gorilla was able to get the description of the film. As this is ranked in the top 10 best films of all time. This is a classic.
Yeah, I don't know if I love it that much, but it's a damn good movie for sure.
Top 100, maybe not.
I'd probably put it in top 100, possibly. But that's my problem. I got so many hundreds of films I actually love that it's hard to. I've never even tried to rate them, to be honest. So
Well, I remember watching the list that was on TV for AFI, the American Film Institute, and this was in the top 10 of the top 100 films. They had like a 2.5 hour thing about every single film in that list. Yeah, but that was in 2007. So this film might have dropped a few notches just within the last 16 years. It depends on how woke the people are over there at the Academy Awards.
Even then, it didn't qualify for top 10.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I'd say it's an important film. I'd say it's a film that everybody should see at least once. But as far as favorites go, it's not really the kind of film I would generally, love. Because, it's pretty heavy duty, serious stuff, this film, right? And I usually go for more entertaining. I'm usually into like sci-fi horror and films that are a little more entertainment than the serious, hit you over the head with history like this film does. But it's still a great film.
And their history is a little bit iffy. They took the general idea of the Jewish collaborators and painted them in a little bit better light than they actually were.
Yeah, I've heard that over the years. Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting is I had to do some reading about this movie when I was in a film class, and I remember that some of the actually the guy who did the list for Schindler was a bit ruthless. He actually tried to get some of his family first, whoever was left survived from his family, and tried to get them in there first before other Jews. And then, of course, when he only realized that he had like a few family members left, then Oskar forced him to, try to get as many Jews as possible. So, yeah, there was some ruthless, there was some underhanded stuff going on behind the scenes. But this movie actually.
But this movie here is a perfect example, though, of why we should not have a registry for guns.
Yeah, the thing with is Germany was actually a very cultured society before all of this shit started, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
hey there, the Trusty Ape. How's it going? Yeah, but this is the perfect reason. Yeah. But this movie is the perfect reason why you should not register your guns. You do not want to be put on the list.
No.
Well, I wouldn't be comfortable if the government wanted to put me on any kind of list, to be honest. If you know what I mean,
Oh,
right? When they start doing
my
that
God.
kind of shit, it's like, oh.
Okay. But just know you are on a list.
Yeah, we're
Well,
on
I
some
guess
sort of
Canadian
list
government's
everywhere.
list is that is the American government.
Well, we all pay taxes, right? So I guess we're all on some kind of list,
Yeah, we are.
or most of us pay taxes. Maybe a few super rich people don't avoid it somehow, but yeah.
Well, one thing I'm proud to say is since I already tried to enter the U.S. Navy at one point and got an honorable discharge out of it, I won't be recalled or resent back to fight if there's a bitter war that happens. Like say a ground war or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You
Took
might-
you
that's
past
kinda
the
nice.
age.
Yeah, I'm way past the age.
You
Well,
might just-
Mikey, if
Yeah.
the war gets bad enough, you're getting called up. If it goes bad enough, you're getting called up.
Yeah,
know,
but
both sides
what
Are
could
not
I
going to
defend?
accept the loss.
I'm just saying though, Gorilla, what could I defend? I can't
Yeah, but
defend my city.
but if we're getting to that point where we have to recruit guys as old as you are, we are completely fucked.
Wow, that doesn't sound insulting at all, Gorilla.
Oh no! Oh,
Take it as a compliment, Mick. You reached the
I was
age
just
there.
gonna, I was just gonna suggest to Mikey that he might be a couple years too old, to be, on the battlefield like I am.
Oh, we're both too old to be on a battlefield, PvP.
Yeah, I would say quite a few years too old, actually.
God, I'm just being. Being honest, I get called an asshole. Go figure.
I didn't call you an asshole. I thought you were.
I didn't
I thought you were.
that.
You were
I
kind of
never called
hilarious,
you that.
actually.
The a-hole word. Yeah, the a-hole.
Yeah, it's a trust the ape says they signed us the number at birth. It's unavoidable. Yep.
Oh God.
I remember when the facial recognition software came out for phones and all that, and people were going nuts. That's just the government trying to get your face and all that, And all I was thinking of, wait until the government hears about driver's licenses.
Yeah, well, they got my face in the driver's license registered somewhere anyway. So, ooh, she's kind of cute.
Yeah,
that's
hey,
not
I
bad.
think I got an English version.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Good.
You got subtitles on this sucker?
German subtitles.
Yeah, I would. I definitely would.
Yeah, the source I'm using is not very good with subtitles.
Oh yeah, I definitely date her for sure.
Hey, $40 an hour, she's yours.
40.
That seems pretty reasonable, actually. I'd say that's $40 well spent.
That's $1,400 an hour.
Well, I'm not
You
quite
mean
that lonely.
today's dollars? Oh man.
Yeah. This is like 1930s, right? I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. And
depending on
that's,
how young she is, that can go up to $4,000 an hour.
Oh,
she is kind of young, I guess, but oh well.
Jesus Christ! I didn't realize how bad inflation got.
Oh, it got
Well,
worse.
inflation's gotten pretty bad here the last year. That's for damn sure. Jesus.
It did for us, yeah.
Everything's too damn expensive nowadays.
Hey, Daniel, is this your first time seeing this movie?
Oh, Daniel.
You must be watching.
Is Daniel gone?
He's watching.
Well, no, I think
good.
he might be watching. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're not,
I didn't know if it was his
interrupting
first
it
time.
too much.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm watching this.
Oh, cool. Are you enjoying it so
Well,
far?
who's this asshole?
Yeah, it's good.
What? Okay. I never heard of an SS guy named Amon Göth until this movie. So I was like, okay. That's not a German name that I'm familiar with, but yeah, whatever.
God, he's that popular, huh?
Ray Fine plays him great, though. I mean, Yeah, Ray Fiennes is rated as one of the top villains in film, and and as I was telling PvP the other night, he is now the new M for the James Bond franchise. So, hi, baby. Hey, Coco. Oh,
Yeah, they
Coco's
definitely
right
got some.
behind you, saying, "Daddy, I love you."
Oh, cute
Well,
dog, cute dog.
Spielberg definitely
There
has
we
some
go.
A-list actors in this film for sure.
Yeah, I think this is all extras.
Oh, thousands of extras, yeah.
Probably paid $100.
Just think of the budget for the extras alone in this movie. How many millions it must have cost, right? It
Well,
must have cost a lot.
The Judgnaut. I never even heard of that.
Spielberg. That was something I had forgot before too. Was this was filmed around Krakow, Poland, which actually had its own concentration camp back in the war. So interesting.
This is a frightening part, though, guys. It starts off with just, bureaucracy, right? Just muddled, slow bureaucracy. And then, we know where it goes eventually, right? And the best of times, bureaucracy is a pain to deal with because it can just slow everything down in your life, right? You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. At
Well,
their
you can
heart,
feel-
every bureaucrat is a dictator.
They do like to go by
Yes,
the
they are.
rules, it seems. They like to go by the rules, definitely. Whatever rules they create that we have to live by.
Exactly. That's why you can't trust the bureaucrat.
Well, you just can't trust the government. Period.
Yeah, well, that's a sign of a healthy democracy, I think.
Not
If us
even a
citizens
government bureaucrat.
we
You
always
can
got to
get
be
any
skeptical.
bureaucrat.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, just anybody of power, anybody in
Yeah.
authority is not reliable, not trustworthy, not anything.
Well, anybody with
includes
power over
your
others is
HR
somebody you've
department.
got to,
My vote.
be aware of and beware of. I would think.
So this is 30s.
Yeah.
So this film-
What's that, Dan?
So it
before
takes
World War
place
II,
over
huh?
years.
This film paints Schindler in quite a pleasant light, does it? I've read.
Wait, when did America start fighting in World War II?
After the
Literally-
Japanese
Well,
bombed us, so we decided to go.
Was
fuck
it
you.
December
Well,
1942?
we did start.
December 7th, 1942.
No,
No, 41 is when Pearl Harbor was bombed. December 8th, Roosevelt asked Congress to declare a state of war. Then December 11th is when Germany declared war on the United States.
Yeah, it was just not too long after Pearl Harbor happened, right, Gorilla?
One day after Pearl Harbor declaration of war was passed in Congress. Then on the 11th, Hitler declared war on us, and we decided we lumped Italy into Germany.
The thing is, I hate to say this, but we're kind of lucky Pearl Harbor happened because if you guys hadn't joined the fight, I don't know if we would have won World War II, to be honest. And
The
it's
U.S.
pretty
was getting
frightening.
in the World War, but no matter what happened.
But I mean, we started
Roosevelt
like
had spent years trying to orchestrate open warfare.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it wasn't too long after Poland was invaded in '39, I believe, that countries like Canada and Australia, and Britain obviously entered the war, right? It was like maybe a week or two after that. And
Yeah.
we were fighting and we were losing our boys over there for like years before the Americans finally, figured it out and said, "Hey, we need to get involved with this, even if we don't want to."
The American people would not tolerate another war into that. But that will get into another European war. That will lost FDR the election. So what FDR got drawn up 8 points that would draw the United States to the war. We did every single one of them to Japan. That's what
Well,
Japan we provoked Japan into bombing Pearl Harbor.
there was a large contingent of pacifists in America at that time too, was there not? That
Yeah, that's
did
why we did
that.
not go to war.
Yeah, they were opposed to war at any price. They did not want to get involved, which in hindsight I think was a big mistake, because if America had joined us in 39 fighting the Nazis, I think the war could have probably ended in maybe 3 years instead of 5, right?
Not even
Well,
close.
Well, here's the thing.
Because let's
The
face it,
Allies were losing the war
America
until Stalingrad.
America is a powerhouse, though. I mean, you
Not at the
guys have the
time.
strongest military on the planet, so it's
But
no
our
wonder.
view, our view is, if we got entangled in every single European conflict, we'd always be over there fighting, And why should we go fight Europe's wars? They can't get
Maybe-
along over there. Why the hell should we go fight their wars for them?
Well, I'm glad you did, because that's why we're sitting here talking tonight, and we're not speaking German.
And we're not speaking German. That's true. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, let's put it another way. If Hitler didn't get stupid enough and decide to fight a war on two fronts,
yeah.
then we wouldn't have had Russia, who were backed in the corner way back there in
I think
Stalingrad.
that was
who
Hitler's
said,
fatal mistake.
Okay, we get. Oh, that's
That
his most
was
fatal
sort
mistake.
of
Because
unavoidable.
he had a treaty with Stalin, right? To like an agreement to not attack each other, right?
Yeah, that
I
was on paper thing.
Yeah.
Since
But-
the moment the ink was dry, both of them were looking for the most opportune time to screw
Yeah.
over the other.
I'm sure, but still, if Hitler had just waited to let Stalin make the first move, I think he would have been in a better position, right? And let's face it, you don't go into Russia during the winter, send your troops in during the Russian winter, and expect anything good's
It
going to
wasn't
come out
the
of
winter
it.
when he went in; it was spring.
Yeah, well, it was the winter that finished them off, though.
Oh, I missed that. I'm going to rewind that first. Oh, shoot. Never mind.
But what was it? Stalingrad was the big battle
Yeah.
that went on for months and months, and that was amazing.
And not
It
only
went
that,
on for
Stalingrad,
almost a year. Or actually,
yeah,
that was
Stalingrad
great.
wasn't even that strategically important. They only wanted to send a message to, a message saying, "Hey, we took your leaders named after city."
Right. But I remember watching a documentary on that, and that was such a brutal, insanely brutal battle. Like the Nazis paid a high price for attacking Stalingrad.
yeah.
It was just
If
insane. It
they
was
didn't
insane.
invest so much into that, and
and
even if
the
it was
lives.
pulled back,
The lives that were
any
lost.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all they
it
had to
was-
do was pull back for like 3 months to rearm and re-equip and let the place
Yeah.
thaw out a bit.
Yeah,
They would
they
have
should
been
have.
able to bum rush it the next year.
Yeah, it was.
But-
Well, I mean, Hitler wasn't the most mentally stable guy on the planet, I guess, at that time. So that kind of proves the point, right? That he was a little bit off his rocker, even if
You
he
know,
at times could be a brilliant leader in his own way. He often made a lot of stupid errors as
Yeah.
well. So
Once
Well-
he took over actual command decisions of the military, and it wasn't up to the general staff, the guys who actually knew about war, once he subverted them, that's when the mistakes started coming.
yeah,
yes.
I think, I agree. I think a
And
part of a
the
really
one, yeah.
Well,
sorry.
a good leader knows when to hire the talent and let them do their jobs because they know what they're doing, right? And leave them alone to do their jobs. Like that's what a good
Yeah.
leader would do, right?
But what Hitler didn't realize is that this mistake was made before. Napoleon tried to invade Russia, and look what happened to him. And he was the dictator before Hitler came. So
Yeah,
Hitler didn't read his history apparently, even though
Well,
he
there's
did
been
serve in World War One.
dictators.
Hitler did serve
yeah.
in World War One, but he never but he never learned his military history.
Dictators
He
never
never
learn.
read it, and
Yeah,
He
I
wasn't
just,
a military historian. He knew he was a courier in the First World War. That's as far as his military acumen went.
right, as far as
But
his experience went, right.
yeah,
What I
and in
find
the early days,
fascinating.
he did let the generals take the lead, but the combination of the power, the syphilis, and the constant assassination attempts, he went over the edge.
Yeah, the syphilis probably didn't help, right? I forgot about that part.
Hey,
Yeah.
Gorilla, we have my new friend Job who just came into the chat. Hi, Job.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
Jim,
Job.
Hey,
LLC.
Pickle.
How you doing?
Yeah. Hey, Job. How's it going? And hey there, Jim. How
Job.
are you tonight?
Hi.
How you doing, Jim?
We're watching Schindler's List, and I got both links. I should probably pin them to the top. Thank you for subscribing,
Probably.
Job.
Yeah, Job, you're awesome. Thank you.
Hey, I just got a question for you guys. Do you think it was a wise artistic choice to film this in black and white?
No.
Just an open question. Whatever you guys want to say.
Hey,
I don't know. I'd have
Completely
to
the
see
wrong
the
choice.
color. I get what they're going at, but I maybe think the movie was a lot older than it actually was.
Well, it's not an old movie. Yeah, it's like
wait,
what 30
if
years
Job
ago or something.
subscribed,
Well, it's an old movie
94?
now.
I'm just thinking though. Do you think it would have got more eyes to watch, more people to think if it had been in color?
Well, the selling point was Spielberg's name, so that alone pretty much maxes out the exposure.
I do think though
And
that.
the color is bound to turn more people off than anything else.
Oh, okay.
Sure, the artsy class are going to say, oh, it makes it that much more important and that much more powerful. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I just always got the feeling Spielberg was trying to deliver a message here for people that weren't, familiar with the horrors of World War II.
Literally everyone in the Western world had spent 50 years being propagandized about the Second World War to that point.
Yeah. Job says, LOL. Job says, it's me, guys. And Jim said, doing editing on my fan film. Oh, that's cool.
fan film. Cool, okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. No, I really did appreciate the description you gave, Gorilla. Really, really did, because that explained everything about the film, pretty much.
Too bad I couldn't put the plot in there, too. It was too many words. Holy shit, that's why they confiscated.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this movie is cool, Daniel. It is.
Yeah, you put a lot of extensive stuff in your description, I gotta say, man.
Just Sunday Cinema, I put that much effort into it. But also, it's not like I'm doing multiple episodes.
Came from IMDb, right?
Yeah. No, Wikipedia.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It looked like Wikipedia.
I was trying to recognize the numbers. Yeah, I was trying to recognize the numbers. Okay.
Yeah,
there's that thinking you copied IMDb.
When you see those little numbers, it definitely looks like Wiki.
Yeah. Wiki.
Well, people love to slam Wikipedia, but I find it generally pretty accurate most of the time. Because I usually go on and look up stuff I'm pretty familiar with, and it doesn't seem to deviate too often.
Just don't look at your politics on it for it on there.
I try not to look at politics. I try to avoid politics.
Economics.
I try to avoid politics in general because it's just one of those toxic things. I'm not interested in anymore.
Yeah, politics is toxic conversation.
It's horrible now. I mean,
just
I used to be a political,
just like taxes. Yeah.
I was a political junkie not that many years ago. Paying attention for hours to political stuff every week, and I just got so sick and tired of the fighting and the knife in the back kind of stuff going back and forth from both sides. I said, screw this. I don't need I don't need politics. Although I still try and be aware of the big things going on, but I don't really need all the day-to-day details. It's just like, I'm just tired of it.
It was hard to make friends when it came around election time. When I lived back there in Arizona, back in the States, it was hard because I had some friends that were, Dems, some that were reps, and then some others that were independent
Right.
and, or third party. And I'd be like, well, who am I supposed to support? Who am I supposed to be friends with? Because they were all divided on issues when it came to election days and stuff. And I was like, well, what the fuck? How am I supposed to stay friends with these people if I don't even know, who they're supporting? A lot of them were very vague about what they wanted, about who they wanted to vote for and when and so forth. And I was like, oh, geez, I'm not going to hang around this. I was better off with the friends who didn't give a shit about politics. I really was. I was much better off.
Yeah, well, I kind of have a policy, I guess, in my mind that I don't care what your political or religious beliefs are. I might agree or totally disagree with them, but to me, it's the quality of a person's character that matters to me. If I think you're a good person, if I think you're a decent and reasonable human being, I can be your friend, right? If I think you're an a-hole and you disgust me, then I probably won't be your friend. It's
Yeah.
pretty simple, really. And I think most of the people I've met in this community are pretty awesome folks, so it's a good thing, right? And even the few people in the community, which I kind of find a
Yeah.
little bit of a challenge to deal with at times. Maybe you guys have figured out who I'm talking about or not. I
Integrity
still can.
is, is
I can
huge
still
with me.
generally can kind of enjoy their company, right? So
Yeah.
life is complicated, though, is it not?
Wait, what are they
Life is.
making here?
Eh? Ooh, that's.
Metalworks.
Well, they're making pots.
Hey, they're making chamber pots.
Wow. That's probably more for cooking a large soup or something, Gorilla. If you needed a chamber pot that big, you got bladder problems.
Hey, some people are just too lazy to empty them out every night.
Ugh.
Hey, that's
Have you
skilled
ever
labor.
have
at
you
the
ever
time.
smelled old urine? It's not something you want to have around too long.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've gone to the can a few times in the middle of the night and not flushed, and it's like you get up the next morning, it's like, ugh.
Oh jeez.
Not the kind of smell to wake up to.
Oh, that's gross. Ugh.
I gotta say, I find factories are kind of amazing, are they not? That they can produce this stuff. Like, I marvel at the people with those kind of skills.
I've worked in those factories all my life. I find them extraordinarily ordinary.
I always have great respect for people that can manufacture these kind of things that we use in our day-to-day life. I think great respect for those people.
Resolute,
Yeah.
what was your
Hey,
was your
PvP,
favorite
this is
thing
for
that
you.
you? Yeah.
PvP,
No,
hey,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gorilla.
hey, PvP, this one's for you. Jim likes you.
Okay. All right, supposed to
Okay.
read something here. Oh, thank you, Jim. I like you
Yeah.
too. Okay, that's good. Always good to be
Okay, I was
liked.
gonna ask Resolute real quick. Hey, so what was your? Okay, I guess I should ask it in a two-part way. What was your favorite item that you created, say on a line, and what was your least favorite?
LDDG just joined our watch party, by the way.
Oh yay!
He's
Hi
been there.
LDG.
Hey, pickle.
I just got a
Hey.
notice that said he joined, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's been here quite a while. And you've already
Yeah, I guess
acknowledged him.
my watch thingy must be malfunctioning or something. Then I don't know.
No,
I
so
can never
Resolute, what
understand
was-
people that would have a cigarette in their mouth like this broad. Like, I could not,
It's very
I could not
easy.
smoke like that.
For your question,
what was-
Mikey,
Yeah.
I'd say the best thing I did was the potato chips as the most entertaining because you got a free bag of chips with lunch every day.
Nice. I bet you got sick of eating potato chips after a few months, though, right? It's like, oh
well,
no,
I
not
got up
another
to
bag.
about 260, 270, so not
Yeah.
really.
Okay. Well, I guess potato chips are fun when you're in the mood for them.
Hey,
As a friend you dork?
PvP, Jim has a message for you. PvP.
No.
Ooh,
Hey,
that's a
Resolute, I
mouthful.
lost your answer. I didn't hear your answer. I'm sorry.
I said potato chips because I got them free every lunch.
Nice. And what was your least
Yeah,
favorite then?
they're hiding the Hennessy.
Yeah, what was your least favorite, Resolute?
Oh shit.
It's hard to narrow down. I'd probably say the cording, the electrical cords.
Oh yeah, electrical cords would be a bear. Yeah. Yeah, potato chips would be fun, especially if you have like different flavors. You get the bag and stuff. Then they let you take some free bags home for samples. Yeah.
Yeah, if you had different flavor every day, it wouldn't be so bad, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got a whole rack full of choices.
Yeah, you do. Well, when I used to work for Little Caesars, we used to experiment with different herbs and spices. So sometimes they'd let me take a pizza, a couple pizza slices home with different herbs and stuff.
Huh.
Yeah, and it was good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our spice guy did that sometimes.
Well, that's a lot of pots.
Shut down line.
Yeah, that's a lot of pots.
Oh, they're funding a continent-wide war effort.
Oh yeah,
they're making pots, pans, artillery shells.
That's the crazy thing. Like when we watch a war movie, we generally are watching the war, and we kind of can forget that there was a whole society still running at some level, producing all these products, right? Because it had, they have to, right? You got to have even if you're killing each other off on some front somewhere, you still have to have the daily, day-to-day goods of life, right? So somebody's got to be making this stuff, in the background.
Yeah, now
it's
when
kind
they
of
were
nice.
talking,
Kind of nice that they actually show this in this film. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, now PvP when they were talking about the chamber pots, okay, some of them were used. Yeah, well, some of them were used for soup. Some were used for, let's just say, urinal supply. Some of them were used for grain. Some were used to transport weapons. I mean, these chamber pots that Schindler was having to make had so many different uses. That was for a multi-purpose, exactly. And that was the one of the ways that Schindler was able to keep so many of them alive because they could produce so many of these multiple purpose items.
Well, yeah,
and the Germans wouldn't know the difference. They would just be like, "Oh, okay, fine, whatever."
Oh, dang it! She's wearing a nightie.
Oh, we got a possible hottie alert here.
Yeah. Oh, she's wearing a nightie underneath her robe. I thought maybe
shit.
we'd get.
Well, so much for that thrill.
I'll bet that Schindler had a few, let's say, night moves with a few of, some of the
I bet he
employees,
did.
some of the
Like,
female ones.
He must have some privileges being like the boss man, right? So, especially back in those days, like those were different days. You could get away with a lot more then than you would now, for sure.
And he
Nice apartment, though. Geez, that's a nice apartment, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Much better than mine.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes.
It's very saddening in some parts. So hopefully he has a few tissues by his computer there.
Yeah, we haven't really got to the hard nitty gritty stuff yet, have we? It's all set up.
I don't need. Hey, I don't need tissues. I only glistened a little bit during Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom.
Oh, Sound of Freedom. Okay. Yeah, I've heard some good things about Sound of Freedom, Gorilla.
I gotta go see that. I hear it's a great film. I think you put a link on here a week ago too, girl. I gotta check that out.
What?
Gorilla probably only cries on his barbecue though to season it.
What?
You probably cry to season your food, your fish and stuff, Gorilla.
Yeah.
Probably the only time because of the smoke. The way
Salty
you smoke
tears.
it.
Salty tears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I got vacuum out the smoker.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Well, once it builds up a bunch of ash, then it gets really it gets the temperature way too hot.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I got to vacuum it up so it doesn't get up to 400 again.
Wow, 400. That's getting more.
Well, it screws with the sensors, so I think it does.
Oh.
How long have you been down there, LDG?
Not too long. I just came in here.
Not long enough for me to go, let me in.
I was able to hold my
If
breath.
you're going to do the eyeball, how about the moving one? Yeah. Hey,
You know
yeah.
this one?
we're going to do an eyeball. How about the moving
Let me see
one?
if I got something else.
No, we just got another buddy joining us in the watch party.
Yeah, what's the one that the
Anonymous Deer just joined us.
Anonymous Deer? Okay.
Anonymous Deer, that's what it said on my little pop-up window here.
Oh, nice.
Man, you got a lot of people watching this movie tonight, girl.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think-
got
I don't
a
think-
combo in there, man.
They've just been piling in one after another.
Is your computer like generating nuclear fusion right now?
Not that I know of.
So
Everything's usually running.
We'll know when it catches on fire on him.
That's what I'm
They'll
saying.
come
Like,
back.
is it glowing like a lightsaber?
Probably not.
Ah, boy. Damn, I
Dude,
gotta
she's
go
not
get
bad
my
looking
laundry.
right there. I like the curly-haired one there.
So I've never actually watched this movie.
Really?
Oh, then you're in for a treat.
It's a bit slow paced at times. Like it takes a while here to get going, but it is a good movie.
When you say slow paced, you mean until they get to the killing?
No, I mean they have to set up the characters right at the first third of the film because you got to understand the characters' motivations to really appreciate the film. Is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
But once
If you're expecting something
WW2, it was a lot
action-y,
about killing,
you're not gonna
and
see
it does get to killing eventually, of course. Yeah, sadly.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's like watching
You see him
Titanic.
hoarded into a room
Well, I
onto a
think
train.
what was that uprising? The where the Jews rose up in that town for a few days. God, I can't remember the name. It is in this film, I believe, and that's actually a very entertaining part of the film.
You're looking for
The Warsaw Uprising.
Yeah, it was the uprising. A certain town. I can't remember the damn name. My brain's just failing me right now. But
they actually World War II?
Yeah, they got some. Yeah, it was World War II. Somehow they got armed.
I said it was the Warsaw Uprising.
Warsaw Uprising. That might have been it. Yeah, it was something like that. And I think there was like 2 or 3 days they fought back, and they actually killed a lot of Nazis. And I guess it gave them a little bit of hope. But of course, ultimately it failed because they were overwhelmed.
Hey, the movie you're thinking of is called Uprising from 2001.
There is part of that in this film, I believe, though.
Yeah,
It's
there
maybe
is a little bit
20
of that.
minute. It's maybe a 20-minute segment or something. I mean, I haven't seen this film in like 30 years, so my memory's pretty weak.
Yeah, we're on the same
Yeah, I stopped
wavelength there,
watching this
Peter.
thing.
Yeah.
They showed this
Anyway,
thing every
I'm gonna.
year in
I'll be
history
back in
class.
10. I got to go get my laundry guys out of the dryer, so
Okay,
Alrighty.
be back soon.
all right.
I wonder if they did that for any of you. Did they show this to you in history class at any time throughout school?
No.
Oh, you mean for me? No, because
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit both after your time.
well,
No, they
yeah,
did not.
This came out after, way up 1990s, and I was like, I was already done with school and college, so when it came out. But
We watched Forrest Gump we watched Forrest Gump, but not Schindler's List.
They showed this to me every freaking year. From the time it came out on home video.
that you were in school?
Yeah.
Wow. So you were probably tired of it by then.
Oh, it didn't take up a lot of attention. It wasn't a good movie then, and
yeah, but did you have
they weren't checking on you.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't tell if there were any students around you that were bawling their eyes out or upset because of the film?
I do remember at one point some of the Jewish kids were excused because their parents did not like the movie.
Because it gave a terrible depiction, right?
Yeah, we
Not
didn't
German.
have.
The
Yeah, we
Jewish
didn't have.
parents pulled their kids out.
Yeah, we didn't have
Yeah.
Jewish kids in my school. Where are they even putting the piles? They're putting them right back where they're shoveling them.
Well, they didn't say that the work effort had to be efficient.
Ugh.
Holy crap! Did they just shoot that guy in the back of the head?
Yeah,
Why? Because he wasn't working good enough?
right.
Because he is old and he's Jewish.
Oh, those guys are bastards.
Yeah,
They're
that's what they want.
Nazis.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to reset, okay? I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
If you want to see atrocities, look up what the Japanese did to Chinese children during World War II.
Oh.
You'll lose your lunch. Well, you get a little something, Gorilla.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
damn, it's buffer.
So anybody else has come in yet? Okay, still Jim there. Okay, cool.
What the hell? Why is all of a sudden buffering?
Don't look at me.
It's on my end.
Don't look at me. It's not my fault.
Yes, the list is always correct. Germans are incapable of processing it otherwise. It has nothing to do with them being Nazis. That's just basic German mindset.
Son of a bitch. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one thing about Oskar Schindler that was, or a couple of things that were Oskar Schindler that were true. One is that he was a jack of all trades. He was a businessman, but he was also a con artist. He was an angel. He was a devil. I mean, yes, he saved, over 1,000 lives, but in the overall, he was just a cog in a wheel of people trying to save Jews from extermination. So. He just gets more credit than
Hey, Pickles,
Yo.
can you do me a favor? If
Yo.
if I give you a list here, can you? Oh, now it's going. I'm gonna put this in the private chat in case it keeps buffering.
What's the time code?
I got it at 47:50 right now. 47:53. Should I pause it?
All right, I got it.
All right, I'll stop.
I got it. I got controls.
Okay. For some reason, that source is
I got it.
buffering for me. Thank you.
There we go. All right, guys, that fixed it. We're good. We're good.
good job, Job.
I see maybe I got to reload here.
You might have to refresh, guys.
Yeah, I see it there. Okay.
Oh, now this is the sad part here. Oh. Oh man, that must be the source. Man, that's a small diamond.
I wonder if they had them ever mine around there for different minerals and stuff.
We have
Or was it
everything
just the fact
labeled and
they
sorted.
had them working? Yeah. Well, it was mostly factory work, right? But I thought they had miners or, you
Factory
know,
work, mining,
hunting for
basically any
rocks.
good slave labor job.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the thing too is they didn't give them much of a choice. If you didn't work, you die. If you do work, you live. So, you didn't have much of a choice. I thought it was funny at one time when they said that Amon Göth was worse than Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I think that the Nazi guy that Christoph Waltz played in *Inglorious Bastards* was bad. I mean, I thought he was worse. Meaner and whatever. But
Oh. Maybe I'm gonna stop using this one for this particular source for streaming shows, movies.
yeah, are you getting better reception there? Yeah, it looks like you are.
Oh, back. Damn, I hate laundry.
Oh, welcome back, PvP.
uh, years ago, laundry was not a big
You
deal,
sound
but when
like
you
you're out
get
of
to be
breath
my
too.
age, I am. Well, it's down 3 floors in the elevator and 3 floors back up, right? And when you're carrying a laundry basket full of clothes,
Yeah,
oh, I hate doing laundry. I just dread it.
and you're like, oh God, please don't let me drop this thing. Yeah, exactly.
but it's done. Well, I used to live in a condo where there was an in suite laundry, which was great. But oh well, I'll survive. Is this the? This is this a nasty scene I'm thinking of? Because there's a scene that really bothers me.
How you doing there, Daniel?
I know there's a scene with a woman and one of the Germans that I still to this day find very, very disturbing and heartbreaking. Yeah, I just this is the scene I'm thinking of. I think it's disgusting, ridiculous. One reason the Nazis lost the war, they didn't listen to intelligent people. They just murdered them, bastards.
Yeah, they got
Oh
stupid.
God, this scene kills me every time. Oh God, I hate that scene so much.
Why?
Because I'm an emotional person. I don't like to see an innocent get murdered by bastards. That's just wrong.
I would have
It's
started
wrong.
running as soon as they first said it. Yeah, of course. Yes, I agree. It's wrong,
It's so wrong. That scene. Oh God,
but
that's,
at least it's
Yeah, but
At
no
least
need
it's
to
fake.
be disgusted or emotional.
well, if you're not emotional by that scene, I don't know what you are, to be honest.
According to the doctor, sociopathic.
Well, the Nazis were certainly sociopathic, if not psychopathic. Some of them were psychopathic, I believe, though. When you enjoy putting people to death for no really good reason, there's something really wrong with your brain.
Oh, wait a second. Don't we still have that like now? I mean, I
We've
know
always
people who
had
are
that.
just as
Quite
bad
prevalent.
as,
We've always
like,
had
I'm
that.
talking about like
That's
living in your neighborhood, like a mile from you, local radius people that don't give a shit if you
well,
burn.
I guess I'm in a good
Mile.
neighborhood. I guess I'm in a good neighborhood because I don't face that day-to-day life where I live in my part of the world, thank God. But
Oh,
I
so
know there
you're
are
so
bad
Look
places. I know.
around a bit closer.
Well,
Oh,
It's
I
a
noticed.
little bit more fucked up than
I-
you see on the surface.
Oh, I,
Yeah.
I see fucked up people all the time, but most of them, they're fucked
just
up,
because
but
you
they're
say
not
please
dangerous.
and thank you is not the same as not lifting a finger while you burn.
yeah. I know.
Well, that's my point of view.
I'm not sure what your point is, Term, but I'm really not interested in discussing it at the moment.
Oh, we get a pretty
I'm
significant
trying to
time
watch the
jump
film,
here.
to be honest.
Can you see it a bit easier now? PvP.
It's doing the swirly thing on the live stream. Actually, it
Yeah,
just
one moment.
stopped.
There it goes.
Yeah, it's just more.
It's okay now. It's back now. It looks great though. It looks great.
Thank you.
Actually, it's very, very clear. Very nice, clear
Yeah.
picture for sure.
I mean, I thought it was buffering because of my internet, but nope.
AKA
It buffered for maybe 10 seconds, Gorilla, but nothing to worry about, my friend. It's
It's
good.
doing it a lot less.
And
Yeah, it's
the
very-
source. The source is gonna do that. Yeah, every now and
It's
then
very-
you'll get a.
It's very clear, very good picture quality at the moment. So yeah, I got no complaints, man.
Well, this is
It's like
LDG.
Inside Rex. Come on.
I
Yeah,
have a
Mike,
hard
pop some
time.
popcorn.
I have a hard time putting myself in the
Popcorn.
mental state. I have a hard time thinking about what it really must have been like living through this. Like, Jesus Christ, this must have been a horrible experience to live through. Even if you survived, it must have been bloody awful, man. Like,
Did you watch the other one? The other movie with what's her name's diary?
And Frank,
Anne
Anne
Frank.
Frank's diary. Yeah,
I
that was.
Yeah, the
don't think
diary
I've
of
seen
Anne
that.
Frank.
I'm
Yeah.
very aware of Anne Frank and how she hid for those years, and then eventually they did murder her, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't think I've seen that film, but that was
Yeah,
tragic
you
as
should look
well.
it up. It's pretty good. We watched
Yeah,
that
well,
one in
Anne
school.
Frank. I mean, she's
I mean,
a
if I
legend.
remember correctly, she died the day they liberated.
Yeah, it was so goddamn sad because she should have lived. I wish she would have lived, and she was almost going to survive, and then they did murder her. Right at the end, right? So yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's the definition
Yeah.
of the word tragic to me. A beautiful young woman, an intelligent young woman who gets murdered just because of who she is. That sucks bad. Oh God, I hate World War II. See, the thing is, guys, I'm a lot older than most of you guys. Like when I was a kid, World War II was not an ancient memory. I mean, it's not like I'm that old, but it was still recent enough where it was like reality, if you know what I mean. It wasn't
Yeah, but
history. Oh, oh God. It wasn't history yet. And I remember there was still something in, something not in, what can I say, something in the air that people still remembered how awful what they'd been through, if that makes any sense.
I'm starting to realize the mindset of the older generations and why it's
No, I find
so.
watching this very traumatic, to be honest, because this is only like I was born
Well,
like
we
13
had
years after the war ended. So it was not that long after. And well, for instance, my mother lost one of her school pals, one of her early boyfriends, served in the war and he died in the war. And yeah, so it touched my family. Like it directly touched my family. So yeah, this is very this is hard to watch at times. Oh God. Oh, oh,
either get
Going
your
into
ass to the
sewers
sewers
is
or you're
not
gonna
going to be a
die.
good idea.
oh God.
It'd be a little bit easier death if you don't go into sewers. You don't survive into sewers in the 1940s.
Oh,
Actually, you don't really survive into sewers now.
not the place I'd want to call home.
Even if you're
Oh,
running, the methane
oh,
buildup in there.
oh, God damn. Oh,
You rather get shot in the head or the chest than die
I'd
of
rather,
methane
well,
buildup.
in the head. That'd be fast. God damn it, though. Oh, I hate the fucking Nazis so much.
Now, was he yelling at him for shooting the kid or yelling at him for wasting bullets?
He yelled at him for shooting the kid while they were carrying him.
Oh,
His main
Suicide?
concern is he could have just shot one of them.
I think StreamYard, that was fun.
So this is a suicide? You put poison in those drinks?
yeah.
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 Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I can't believe humanity can do this to each other. It's just,
Well, it's
Well, it's
better
either
than
that or
You
get
obviously
taken. It's
haven't-
better than the. Yeah.
No,
I'd
no,
rather
no. I
take
know.
that too.
I know he's merciful. His motives are
Yeah.
merciful, but I
As
just
far
can't
as human
believe these.
atrocities,
I can't
the
believe
World Wars
these.
do not fit in the top 10.
I can't believe these ass. Oh God, I can't believe these sick bastards with the machine guns could. I just you know you hear that old expression, just following orders. Well, shit, man. How do you go home at night and sleep? That's my
Well-
question.
there's
know,
a reason there's a lot of
Relatively easy.
Well,
Yeah.
that's bullshit.
I couldn't do that. I just
Yeah.
couldn't do that. I'm not that kind of person. Oh my God. Oh my
Well, that's
Why
God.
did you hurt?
yeah. That's what the majority of them said, is that they were just
Oh.
following orders. When
Yeah.
the troops came through,
That's
yeah,
no bloody
when Patton came
excuse, though.
through from the west.
No bloody.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying that
No.
I just
Oh, no,
watched
no.
the last days of
Mikey.
Patton. Yeah,
Yeah, I get it, Mikey. If you're in the army, you do have to follow orders, right? You're in the military chain of
course.
command, so those guys had to do what they were ordered to do. I get that, but man, I would have a guilty conscience for a long time.
Oh, I'd probably want to commit suicide if I was one of those,
This is
German guards, or even somebody who had to watch so many people at those concentration camps. I don't think I could get through it.
oh
There's no
yeah,
way.
I can't imagine being one of those. Holy. I can't imagine being one of those guards in the concentration camps. That must have been. Well, I just can't
Because they
believe
had families which actually lived. Well, yeah, which is
I
the
to
weirdest
this
thing
day,
is that they had families.
I can't believe
Yeah.
that I can't believe that humans could get down to this level, basically. And I hope we never do again. I hope we never do. But we still don't learn, do we? There's still wars.
Well, people don't.
I got
know-
some bad news for you. We're doing worse right now
Oh yeah,
on a bigger scale.
there's a lot of always history repeats, right? Sadly.
And it doesn't really repeat, it just never stops.
Well, people never fucking learn. That's the big problem. Never has there been more opportunity for education to learn, and never has there been more ignorance in the fucking world.
That's a very
Best
Western
of,
point of view.
best of times, worst of times.
It is a very, very Western mindset. Privileged mindset, to be more precise.
Nice. I like the rug. That's very slick.
Yeah.
Very good.
Until they can't kick the rug up.
That's very good. That's a very cool rug. I gotta admit. That's very good. What the hell is he doing with the suitcases?
Not quite sure. It's been a long time for me too. It's been almost 30 years. Jeez.
Jeez. Somehow his little bit of a ruse there worked.
Even though he has to fucking do a star on his arm.
Fast thinking, though. Fast thinking. We survived that one, and here we go with the circle of death again.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's a
appropriate
story.
on this film. Oh God. Oh God.
Now, one of the things that I thought was really interesting when I read the book, I read Schindler's Ark. Okay, I did. I got
Cool.
plans to read it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
And the thing I thought was, and what I thought was innovative is that Oskar Schindler came up with different ways to help, to help out the workers he had in the factory, and if any of the Nazis were trying to single out one of his workers, he found out that he could come up with different ways of saving their life just by saying, "Well, this person is an expert." Like I said, he was a businessman first and a con man second, and he was able to tell the guards and stuff, "Well, this lady is very, very good at sewing, and we need her. She's essential." And he would say that about guys. He'd say that about some kids. "I need this kid to run things for me. He's a runner. He has to go deliver stuff for me. So he's important. You can't kill him." He did a lot of that for a lot of Jews. Yeah.
He was a businessman and a con man, which actually kind of go hand in hand when you think about it. Because businessmen are often very cunning, right?
Yeah.
They're not stupid, if you know what I mean. They know how to figure things out and how to make the system work to their advantage, right? So, and in Schindler's case, though, I mean, he's probably over dramatically heroic in the film, but still, I say bless the guy because he did save lives, though, which is, the thing that actually matters. Must be the Warsaw Uprising coming up at some point in this film. Just maybe not quite this early, but this is a hard film for me to watch. It really is. Oh, here's a little bit of color. I always wondered, why did Spielberg make the choice to give this little girl's coat that hue? A little bit of color and another, bleak, black and white kind of, time in our history. I don't know if there's any answer to that. I'm just, throwing the question out there because I've never figured it out, to be honest.
Yeah, what it came down to was that Oskar.
Well, the film is doing the death circle, and mic is
said that
breaking.
he couldn't save them all, but he did help to save as many as he possibly could.
I didn't hear most of that, Mikey. If you want to maybe say it again, because Jesus.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta wait. No. Okay.
Hey, PvP.
Yo.
He made it as a symbol of Schindler's transformation and transition as a person. This is where it's supposed to be symbolic of him changing his allegiances, his ways, or whatever.
His mindset, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I always did wonder about that point in the film.
Yeah.
This is such an intense film.
PvP, what I would say before was that Oskar Schindler knew going in that he couldn't save them all because he knew what Hitler's plan was for the Jews. And he couldn't save them all. But he did realize that he had a moral obligation to save as many as he could.
The thing is, he did what he could do, no matter how limited what he did was. He did within his, capacity, within his powers. He did, save people, and he did good in the world. Let's put it that way. When he was surrounded by so much evil. So I think any man that can stand up against this kind of evil we're seeing on the screen right now, and even help a few people, I think that's a heroic person to me personally. But that's my viewpoint.
Oh,
if
sure.
his story was true.
Well, it was true. Schindler existed. He did help.
Yeah, and all of his good deeds were brought up after the fact when he is being called a traitor.
Well, often people that do heroic things are called
traitors. You mean a traitor?
The Jews were the ones calling him a traitor. The Jewish people were calling him a traitor, and then that's when it came out that, I smuggled people out. So he wasn't exactly a reliable source, and most of the people that he was working with were conveniently dead at the time. But he is a great story to tell people. And the better the story, the less likely the facts really line up with the truth.
Oh, wow. Oh, God, this movie. This is a hard film to watch.
Yeah. If you think this is hard, PvP, I got a film I can make you watch.
Hey, Gorilla, you better put a comedy on here next Sunday. I don't think I can handle another one this bleak. Uh, oh my goodness! Wow. Is this Bach? Oh, for Christ's sakes! Well, I guess the bloodthirstiness is pretty much rampant at this point. Shoot anything
Google
that
Chrome
moves, and
in
even
my
if it
mind.
doesn't, just shoot the walls. Maybe there'll be somebody on the other side that'll get killed. Yeah, good plan, boys. Jesus, I
Well,
love
it's better than running them down.
the classical music in this sequence. Is like this is like it's like totally effed up. You're playing beautiful classical music to this mass homicide. It's like, oh God,
Yeah.
unreal. This is back when
Well, they
Spielberg.
actually gave an Oscar to the score. They gave an Oscar
Well,
to the
yeah,
score. This
that
film
was
won
pretty.
7 Oscars. Yeah.
I do have the soundtrack around somewhere. I got it on a shelf somewhere around here, actually. But this is back when
Itzhak Stern,
Steven
great
Spielberg.
violinist. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, but this is back when Spielberg knew how to make an interesting film. Still, right? Like, I think he's kind of lost it in recent years, but he was
Well,
a
the
great
guy's
sort
what,
of
80
lost-
fucking years old?
He had it when he in the 80s, and then after the 80s, he sort of
yeah, kind of petered
stopped.
out. Like a lot of directors do crop out in their later years. I mean, look at Ridley Scott. Like, he hit his peak in the '80s as well, and then he's, hasn't done as much lately. But
Well, it's arguable if Ridley Scott ever had a peak.
I like Blade Runner and Alien. But yeah, I'm glad
Pretty
we had
good
directors.
movies, but way overhyped.
Well, we all have our opinions, do we not? I do appreciate Spielberg taking on a subject like this, though, even if it's flawed and not a perfect film. I do give him credit for trying. And boy, that circle's going for a long time. I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, don't forget, he also did a very controversial, I'd like to say it was a controversial movie called AI, which had Haley Joel Osment and Jude Law in it. And it was supposedly a script that was written by Stanley Kubrick before he died. And so Spielberg said he collaborated with Stanley before the film even came out. It was just in a planning stage. Then when they decided to bring it out, it was ironic that when Kubrick died, Spielberg decided to take it over and said, okay, I can make a movie based off of what Kubrick wrote or said. And it didn't do well. It was very controversial. Even though I do remember that Robin Williams, their voiceover, is the most knowledgeable computer in the world in the film. So
I got
What does that
Kubrick
say?
and Spielberg and script out of that. The rest of it I couldn't understand.
I'm sorry, Resolute. Yeah, I explained explained it earlier in the chat that we did some research on my computer. First of all, it's older than dirt. I won't say how old, but it's very old. Second of all,
Oh, we got a few seconds before the Circle of Death came back.
It's getting rough.
Yeah.
Well, Circle of Death is definitely appropriate for this film.
Wait, why the fuck did he shoot her?
Whoa, what's this?
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
LDG, I did this myself on the process. It's shit.
I don't remember that scene. What is he butt naked? He's shooting people. He's butt naked.
Yeah.
He's smoking a cigarette. He's butt naked. He's committing mass murder. And man, this guy is a total psycho.
No, he only shot one person so far.
Well, yeah, but he's getting ready for the next one. Man, I don't know this dude's got to be a little bit demented, I would say.
Just a little.
Oh, here we go.
A little.
Okay. Gonna enjoy that.
No, he's
yeah.
mental.
No, he's getting to be more and more demented.
Mental.
Like, what the hell do you just shoot people that are sitting there doing nothing? I can
Maybe
see
that's
shooting.
what they're doing. Nothing.
Nice boobies again. But honestly, like, what's the point of this? Just because you can do it, you will do it?
Yeah.
Guess, yeah, seems
Still
like
holds
it.
strong.
Okay,
Hey,
he's not
Steve-
butt naked. Okay,
Steve-
I'll give him credit.
Steve-
At least
Steve,
he has
that's
some
it.
fun.
Say boobies.
So since he has pants
Well,
on,
I
it
gotta
makes it
admit-
all
You
much better,
just
huh?
say boobies.
Whoa,
I heard gorillas in there.
there's some more
That's
nice boobies.
Oh my god.
Why is it the girls always want to go for these kind of guys? You know, these kind of like, assholes.
Because she didn't have a choice.
Evolution.
She didn't have
yeah.
a choice.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah, I guess a lot of people didn't have a choice back in those years, did they? Shit.
No, I'm just surprised.
Only a few people at the top had choices, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just surprised the gorilla wasn't excited.
Well,
Yeah.
how
No,
could I be excited about titties in such a dark movie?
I'm surprised. I didn't think you would ever miss a chance at a booby joke there, Gorilla.
Because you like that stuff, gorilla. I'm just saying. I just thought
How
maybe you
can
were.
I enjoy
just thought maybe
boobies
you were
when I've seen
excited a
someone's
little bit. Maybe
Someone's
I
head
don't know.
get blown off at the same time.
You
How
gotta
could
admit, she did have a nice pair, though. You gotta admit that.
Mm.
I wouldn't say no. I don't even remember any nudity in the film. Jeez, it's been a long time since I watched
Yeah,
this.
we got that unedited version.
Nice food.
Uh,
Damn, I gotta put supper on later. Yeah, the stream looks great, but it sure is pausing a lot.
It's this M4UHD.TV site.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I look for something different?
Not all sites are created equal, I
I
guess.
try soap, but
Yeah, soap usually works pretty well for anything I've watched. Yeah.
yeah, it does have the same problem, but it's usually not this bad.
My
Yeah.
soap usually has one or two different servers that'll work as well, so I can usually
Yeah.
switch around and find one that seems to play decently. But
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I
the
thought it was
clarity's
my internet.
the clarity's really good though. It's nice and clear on at least where I'm watching.
Yeah.
Look,
Well,
yeah.
I thought it was my internet though, but I guess it wasn't because LDG's internet's like 10 times better than mine.
Well, there's so many variables though, right? I never know exactly what's going on. Well, hey, for example, my internet crapped out pretty much all day Friday and a good part of yesterday. It was crapped out for like 30 hours and I could not, I tried restarting the computer, tried, doing all the resets on the, the modem, and it was like, nope, just nothing. So I actually just gave up after a while. I get up early today and everything's fine again. Everything's fine. So I think they were just doing some technical shit in the neighborhood, right? And just everything was down.
One way to find out, always ask your neighbors.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen any neighbors for the last couple of days, but yeah, next time I will definitely ask them. It's happened like 3 times in the last 2 months, though. We actually, it used to be Shaw Cable here in Western Canada, and they got bought out by the Eastern Company Rogers like 3 months ago. So I think everything's in a transition phase now, which probably is part of the reason why they've been doing all this crap,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of switching
Well,
over. I'm thinking of switch.
there's been a lot of underground work too, PvP.
Well, they got their main competitor, TELUS, which I'm thinking of switching over to in the next few months because, frankly, I'm getting tired of the Shaw Rogers bullshit. To be honest, they're not the best company to deal with. But we'll see. Yeah, it's weird. This is pausing so much. Otherwise, the quality looks great, but man.
And what's the it's 121. Let me rule out the cache. 121.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through the film yet.
120.
Holy crap, this is dragging on.
It's a long movie. Yeah, this is one you really got to be dedicated to watch, but it is a worthwhile. It's a film I think everybody should watch at least once. It's not like high on my I'll watch it every Christmas list or anything, but it's like watch it once. It's worthwhile. It's an important film, I think. But yeah, it's not big on my rewatch.
I just remember. Yeah.
You there, Mikey?
What was that, Mikey?
Yeah, I just remember watching it in the movie theater and
Lucky you.
coming out with both, crying. I was crying when I came out of it.
Yeah, I saw it on the first time.
And then of course I bought it at one time. Yeah. Yeah, then I bought it at one time.
I saw it on the movie channel like 20 years ago, and it was like, yeah, this is an amazing film, but it's a tough film to watch for me. I'm a pretty emotional person.
I eventually sold my copy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
I
film
had it
that
on VHS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like pulling out fingernails. It's not that enjoyable a film. It's kind of painful, so I wouldn't watch it too many times, really. But damn, the cast. This is a great cast, is it not? Shit.
It is.
He's scary right here. God, he's scary. Just that look.
Well, I just realized with Liam Neeson, he's played Schindler. He was Qui-Gon in the first 3 Star Wars, films. Oh well,
the first one.
He died, but then that's what I said. Just for the first one, then he died, and then he was in the Taken franchise. So his kid being taken.
He's also in Dark Man.
He and his wife being taken. Yep, Dark Man. That's right. So he's done a couple franchises.
Dark Man.
That's another thing That's another thing that always was kind of amazing for me about World War II is you'd have this unbelievable horror and slaughter going on, and yet there were times when people would just have these incredibly wild, insane parties. Like,
of course,
I guess that's human nature, right? But man, it's just
you gotta let
there's
off
something about the scenario that just disturbs me a tiny bit, It's like, yeah, let's go out and shoot a couple hundred people, and then we'll go have some drinks and have a good time. It's like, okay, whatever.
Well, when you understand the basic nature of humans aren't actually good, this stuff starts to make a lot more sense.
Well, personally, I've lived long enough to think most people want to be good, even if sometimes the circumstances dictate that they can't be good. But I think not. Let's put it this way: I meet very few people that I would consider total assholes. Very, very few. Thank goodness, because I think most of you guys, at least I chat with on here, are really, really great folks. But we can get caught up in times. in history when the circumstance is very bad and people do what they need to do to survive, right? And that's extremely unfortunate. We're going over to soap, are we, Gorilla?
Not me. It's Pickles is a chair.
Oh well, let's see if it works. Looks good so far. Oh fuck.
Welcome back, Mikey.
A slippery bastard. That's a good line.
No, thank you, Resolute.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
This looks good so
Yeah,
far.
hopefully this is better. Yeah, I switched over to soap.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
way better.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Looking good. Looking good. Loving the subtitles too. Toasting in German. That's pretty funny. Thanks for letting us know the Germans are toasting in German. I appreciate that. So funny.
You know what? You actually get better
I'm
conversation
sorry, I can't help but laugh at that.
from close. Yeah, that's okay. No, I think that you get better conversations from closed captioning than you do the subtitles.
Yeah. Hey, LDG, can you turn it up slightly? LDG,
Yo.
can you turn it up a little bit, please?
Job.
Oh,
Not able to. That's as high as it goes.
okay.
Maybe try your volume on your computer, Gorilla.
Yeah. Do the cosmic
Hey,
volume.
Try. Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
do the
Try
cosmic
bang-
volume.
just
Set
bang
when we
it
did the-
really hard.
Yeah, mine's
If
pretty
it
much.
doesn't, if it doesn't work, you didn't bang it hard enough.
That's what she said. Yeah, mine's a max volume too, and it is kind of a little bit lower, but we got subtitles, so it's not that bad.
Yeah,
It's not that bad. I can hear it okay.
Yeah.
yeah, and
I've noticed that on
I think
I've noticed that on soap a couple times when I watch films, though, that the volume can be a little subdued on this site for whatever reason it is. But yeah,
I was going to say that in my view, for this film, I think that Ben Kingsley did a great job. He's done a lot of roles, including Gandhi. You know, he's great in that, of course. But I think this is one of his better roles. I really do. And there are many movies that I think that he did pretty well in, but this is definitely one of them. I think he deserved an Oscar at least for this, but he didn't get it. So.
well, everybody thinks of him as Gandhi, right?
Oh yeah.
In a way, that was kind of his best. The best thing that happened and the worst, because he got kind of typecast. Like everybody thought him as Gandhi, and it's like no matter what he did after that, wasn't quite the same, right? Even though he is very good in this film.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's very good in this film as his Schindler's assistant, or I guess they called him his Jewish assistant.
Yeah,
Keep the list
he's a damn
together,
good
the
actor.
list. Yeah.
He is a damn good actor for sure.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah, he's very good. Yeah, and like I said before, until Ray Fine, until I found out that he was, Amon Göth in this thing, and then you see him as Am later on, for the James Bond thing, you're thinking, damn, this man got evil. So is there about 40 minutes left?
Well,
I remember.
I sense
More
it.
like an hour and a half.
You know, why did they murder all these talented people?
Okay.
The Nazis were just stupid. You don't kill off talented people if you want to win a frickin' war, guys.
Well, less revolting.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I hate
they
this.
did use the Jews to their maximum potential before they either gassed them, shot them, or used them for medical experiments.
Yeah, I just think it's, well, basically Hitler and the Nazis failed because they were stupid.
Yeah, don't forget that that the Nazis had a deep-seated hatred for the Jewish culture.
This is the pure scene of psychopathy right here. The bastard he just wants to kill so bad. He doesn't need a reason. He just wants to kill somebody.
Well, he has to make room for the Yugoslavians coming in.
He's just a sick bastard. That's what he is. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give it. The guy could be the best worker in the whole bloody factory. He still just wanted to kill him just to satisfy his bloody bloodlust.
Well, he wasn't working up to the numbers.
No.
So
But he did say he had been shoveling coal that morning, not working because they changed the machines over. So that was bullshit. That was not his fault. He made fewer hinges. He made fewer hinges because he didn't have the machine to work on, and he was doing another job earlier in the day. So that's wrong. He had no real reason to kill that man.
Plus, don't forget that they were giving them unfair quotas. You know, there was a factory quota that they had to, ascribe to, and if you didn't meet that quota, then they thought the Nazis thought that gave them a reason to kill a person like that.
Well, yeah, that
because
too.
they weren't meeting that quota. Yeah,
that too, Mikey. I mean, you can make a quota that no human being can reach, right? And you're basically setting up people to fail at that point. And most of the time when you're going to do that, you have nefarious intentions, obviously, because you want people to fail so you can punish them. But Jesus Christ.
I'm kind of glad that
there's a bit of a production mistake there.
The indiscriminate murder in this film. Oh, God. This is a tough film for me.
Shouldn't lie to him like that, kid.
You said that you were born.
I can't hear you, Mikey. Your mic's breaking up again, man. Well, he's an eager kid, I gotta say.
Yeah, because he thinks he might be spared if he goes into metal working. That kid's not stupid.
I gotta say, he's learning at a young age how to kiss the boss's ass, right?
Or save it. No, he's learning how to save his damn ass.
He might be the company director in a few years. Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. No, I was just going to say that PvP, you were born 13 years after the war, is that right? 1958?
I'm 1958, yeah. So it was still a pretty fresh memory in my parents' generation, for sure. My mom actually lost one of her high school boyfriends. One of her high school sweethearts died in the war.
My parents, my father, my parents, My father was born 1 year before the war ended in 1944. My mother was born 1 year after it ended in 1946.
Okay.
So both of them, they were grown kids. It was very fresh in their minds.
Yeah.
We were all worried
Yeah.
about, and the thing was, when it came to your generation, when you were born, my parents were already worried about another war happening. The Cold War was going on,
Well,
and they,
Korea.
they were worried about a nuclear war. Yeah, Korea
Well,
War,
Korea.
and then Vietnam later on.
I guess probably Korea was the big one going when I was, born, right, in the 50s.
Yeah.
And then, of course, by 62 or whatever, we had Vietnam start up. So that was like, more fun and games, right, Mikey? So like it was never ending. But
Oh, for sure. Well,
let's put it this way, though: being a kid in the 60s,
yeah, it was tough on my parents.
everybody was thinking about the nuclear
Yeah,
war
it was
where
tough
we'd
on
all
my
die,
parents
right?
growing up. Yeah.
Yeah. So war was a very real
Yeah.
thing, even though I never had. Thank God, I never had to actually fight one because I probably would have died. But war was a very real thing back in the 60s when I was young.
Right.
Definitely.
A very real thing now too.
Well,
No, but it's not the same when you're a
yeah, it's
kid,
very real now.
and I just don't think the wars were huge back then in the 60s. Though. I mean, Vietnam was a huge war.
We're just a little more sheltered from them now.
I mean, Ukraine, Ukraine's a bad scene for sure, but it's not Vietnam.
There's been almost 1 million dead Ukrainians.
Yeah, and how many dead? How many dead in the Vietnam War? I bet there's more.
That's 12 years. This has been 10 months.
No, it's been more than 2 months.
10 months.
Ukraine's been going on for over a year now. Shit, man.
Oh, that's only like 100,000 Ukrainians.
That's what they're trying to push off. And they're also trying to push off 250,000 dead Russian troops, but we all know that number is a bunch of bullshit.
Well, never believe anything you hear during a war, because both sides are liable to tell lies.
Here's what you do: you go by what each side says, and just go down the middle. Easiest way to figure out the numbers. The Russians say 100,000. The Ukrainians say 250,000. So it's probably around 175.
Well, one thing I'll say is it doesn't really matter what the fuck the numbers add up to in a war. It's not good for anybody involved with it. So
Here we go around the StreamYard bush. StreamYard bush.
War
StreamYard bush.
War sucks.
So later in the evening. Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
This
There's no way
movie
I
was
was
so.
able to show this on YouTube, even if it wasn't copyrighted.
Yeah, it's still hard to watch. It truly is.
I don't know where this is coming from for you guys. This is the only hard part for me is the movie is rather boring.
I guess we have different sensibilities then.
But this is all stuff I'm already very, very aware of.
Well, once you probably watched this like 20 times, you use the sensibility.
I'm very aware of it too. Very, very aware. But I do not enjoy even watching a representation in a dramatic film of people doing inhumanity to humans. I do not appreciate or enjoy that. Even though I think this is an important film. That's why People should see it because it is a dark, dark point in human history. I'm trying to find how many people died in the Vietnam War, and I can't find a bloody number, but it
On which side?
must have been immense.
Which side?
Both sides. I'm trying to find the total deaths.
You're not
On
going to
both
get a
sides.
proper Vietnamese number. They
There
didn't
must
keep
have been
track.
millions. Must have been millions, though.
North Korea was between 1.5 and 2 million. That includes civilians and soldiers. U.S. lost about 59,000 soldiers.
Is that the Korean War?
Yeah, not Korea, Vietnam.
Yeah, it was a bad war. It went on for a long time. What 1962 to 73? It went on for like 11 years or some bloody thing.
Well, it depends if you count the French get
Counting the
revolt.
French, it was an extra 10 years.
Yeah, well, the French, yeah, they got in there and messed things up before. And then America got involved. Brilliant idea. Because, of course, communism was going to take over the world. Like, yeah, right. And now we do business with a communist country called China, and our store shelves are full of their cheap garbage crap.
Well, thank Nixon for that one.
Yeah, fuck.
And Kissinger, who's over in
Good.
China. Actually, Kissinger's over in China right now. He's 100 fucking years old.
Yeah,
in China on a diplomatic trip.
that old bastard is still alive.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah, and Kissinger's one of those guys that, well, he probably will be rotten in hell the day he does die.
He'll probably keel over on this
I think he's one of those kind of guys in history that just, man, I don't know. I was never a fan of Kissinger's politics, to be honest.
Oh, wasn't he called the Butcher of Cambodia or something like that?
I can't remember. I just thought he was one of those guys that just, he's in the back room, right? You know, pulling the strings of the leaders and just doing some dirt, basically, right?
No, the guy who was the Butcher of Cambodia, his name was Ta Mok, M-O-K. He
Cambodia
was Cambodia.
Yeah, Cambodia was really bad, but next, close to Vietnam, right? That was a bad scene too.
And Laos.
Then what? You had what?
Don't forget Laos. Don't forget Laos.
You had Pol Pot, and what country was he ruler of? Because he massacred lots of people too, if I remember.
Pol Pot? Yeah.
Pol Pot.
Pol Pot was... Yeah, Pol Pot. I don't know. Hold on.
He was horrible.
I
remember as a kid in the 60s, Pol Pot was just known as just a butcher of killing all kinds of people.
Yeah, Pol Pot was the former prime minister of Cambodia. Yeah.
Cambodia, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was bad.
Yes.
Cambodia was bad news back in those days. Yeah. And they killed This is actually a really good scene. This woman's great.
Accused of being the killer of all those people, the former prime minister. So, Pol Pot, and then Tom Mok was the one who was his underling that killed a lot of people. So.
I like how the word enjoying is a euphemism for sex here. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's funny how some of those German officers didn't mind banging some of the Jewish ladies in their off time, though, right? bastards. Oh, she's
Well,
really
some of those,
good. This is a
well,
really
some
good
of those
actress. Damn,
German, yeah, but
she's
some of
really
those
good in
German
this.
officers had families at home, and they still decided to sleep with some of these Jewish girls. I thought that's atrocities in
Well,
itself, the
yeah,
rape and
yeah.
everything that they created.
Well, let's face it. I mean, a lot of the people at the top of the Hitler's, regime were basically perverts and, assholes and crazies. A lot of them, when you look at the history, and they didn't have any. A lot of those guys didn't have any moral fabric at all. Basically, they were just perverts.
They were considered, yeah, PvP.
They were bad people.
They
Oh, you're breaking up, Mikey.
were considered. I told
Your
somebody that
mic's
to
your mic is breaking up, but
my
oh, huh.
I wish StreamYard would screw itself.
You
Oh,
really have
sorry,
issues. You really got issues this streamer, don't you, Mikey?
I do,
StreamYard is like your Third Reich, man.
but it's partly my computer too. Yes, they are my third right. You're exactly right, dude.
Evil bastards.
You nailed it right on the head, man. Evil bastards, exactly. Oh my God! Wow, how did you call that one? Jesus.
Well, I've been alive
Oh,
long
man.
enough to have learned one or two things during my journey. At least I try. Even though I do sound like a fool a lot of days. But what the hell.
Oh, I don't think you're a fool, man. I would never call you that. I wouldn't call any of you that are here in the panel that
No.
either. So I don't think you are any of you.
Sometimes we do tend to judge ourselves harshly, don't we? I know I do.
I judge myself too harshly. That's my problem.
Yeah. I've always been one of those kind of people that finds it hard. Somebody will say, "Oh, you did that really great. You did a great job on that," and they'll say, "Okay, thanks." But I can never take it to heart somehow. I just never have been one of those braggart kind of people. I guess humility. Humility is just where I'm coming from. I guess. I don't know.
I like quoting from Popeye when they say, "I am who I am." It's so.
Yeah.
I am
Oh,
what I
that
am.
kid's gonna get shot. Yeah,
Popeye's pretty.
yeah.
Popeye
That
is
kid's,
pretty cool.
yeah, that kid's gonna get shot. His saddle's on the floor. They're gonna shoot him for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near one of these Nazi buggers if I was a Jew. I wouldn't follow him. I'd stay away from him.
I kind of wish that most of the concentration camps, considering how many prisoners they had in them, I think what was on
Yeah.
average guerrilla about 1,000 or more per camp.
Oh
Is that
God,
a
I don't
fair
I don't
estimate?
remember. I don't remember
No,
how.
no, there's tens of thousands in each camp.
Oh, there
You're
was
talking
lots.
1,000 per barracks. 1,000 per barracks.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
what I
there was a.
don't understand is that even though, well, I'm sorry, PvP, let me just kind of finish. What I was trying to say was is that what I didn't understand is that the Jewish prisoners, I know they didn't have weapons of their own, they didn't have anything because they're prisoners. But I think they could have, based on their numbers, they could have overrode those camps. They could have easily taken them over and out and overran them. They could have done it.
Yeah, but where would they
That
go?
only works if they have morals and don't really mow them down as they rebel. The Germans had no problem killing them at mass.
Yeah, I think basically the Jews. Well, for one thing, the Jews had no weaponry. The Jews had they were basically being starved
Right.
to death with very little food, right, for months on end. I mean, if you've ever seen the pictures of the liberation films when our
Right.
Allied forces broke in, they're basically walking skeletons. A lot of the survivors, right?
Part of the problem too was that our GIs there started giving them food, from their rations, and they ate so much that they died from getting too much nutrition at one time because they're that malnutrition. So they had to start rationing what they're giving them to slowly build them back up, versus giving them a full ration pack at once.
Now, there was a lot of. I'm looking at Wikipedia about the Nazi concentration camps. There was more than I realized. There must have been. Looking here, there must have been around 25 of the main concentration camps going at that time. Which, wow, that's pretty amazing. How many died? I don't know, but I think it was a lot.
9 million.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, what's up?
How are you enjoying the movie?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Have you used any of your tissues yet, Daniel? Or napkins or anything? Like we all said, it's a pretty powerful film.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Ugh. Oh, someone's gonna get shot because they're singing.
Carolyn Goodall. That's the name of the lady in this. That's prominently featured. Carolyn Goodall. Oh, thanks, Sidney.
Ugh. Well, if she was a virgin, she won't be for long.
So, Gorilla, are you doing my cringeworthy movie next Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Wednesday, okay. 8
Thursday.
o'clock, right?
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
Wednesday is
8
justified.
o'clock. Right. So Thursday, 8 p.m. then, right? Okay, so I'll look forward to Thursday then.
This is the unrealistic part. Even the women were shaved. Heads were shaved to prevent lice.
Oh, they had lice, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wrong.
I could look that up. I could look that up. I could look that up for you, PB.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I think it's by a friend. I tried looking it up for the last half hour. It's by a French director. I think it's around 30 minutes long, and it actually has footage that the I think the U.S. military took of the camp when they came in, and piles and piles of dead corpses, like just starved dead people. It's it's a film. If you ever watch that documentary, you will not forget it because it's absolutely brutal, but it's really really good. Like it's really well done. And it's a French director, I think, but I can't remember his damn name, and I can't remember the title of the damn film. It's around 30 minutes, but oh my god, it's a very horrific document, a short documentary, but damn horrific. It's really scary. And then they actually show some of the people in nearby towns that were close to the concentration camp that were apparently the people in the towns were not aware of what was actually going on. So they're all, of course, pleading, their innocence. But yeah, it was a really tough documentary to watch. Wish I could remember the damn title of it though. It's a very good film. Yeah, you can't have a good mass slaughter without some good tunes playing, eh? Oh my god. Oh yeah.
PvP.
Yo.
It's called The Liberator, and
What's that?
it was directed by a guy named Irmgard von. It's called The
You're
Liberation
breaking up.
of
You're
Auschwitz,
breaking up again.
1986.
No. It's a different
He's a
film.
director and
The
a
one
star
I'm,
in the movie. His name is
the one I'm, no, I'm thinking of one that was done like in the early '60s, and I wish I
Okay.
could remember it because the director used a lot of the actual black and white footage of the camps with the survivors and piles of dead people. Like it was just,
Okay.
yeah, it was like 1962 or something. It's an early film.
I can look it up. It's no problem.
I can't. For the life of me, I wish I could remember the title because I think it's one of the greatest documentary films ever made because it's so horrific, right? It just shows the actual corpses and the reality of what those poor people, suffered.
Well, that's what
And this,
Liberation of Auschwitz did in
yeah,
1986.
yeah, it was about Auschwitz, I think, being liberated, but it was, I believe, an early '60s French director who compiled the film. I
Okay,
just wish
hold
I
on.
could remember the damn title or even the director's name, right? But I'm drawing a total blank today, sadly. It's like half an hour long. It's not a long film, but it's an extremely powerful one.
Okay.
I couldn't find it though for whatever reason. I might eventually, but so does that mean if the women have nice boobies, they get to so-called in quotation marks work? Oh, this is evil, man. This is so evil. Jesus. That's the most horrific part of this for me is what these lovely, innocent young children had to go through. It's like, oh my God. And there's still a few of them left that are in their 90s now, I guess. I can't imagine.
Okay, here it is. Night and Fog,
Night and Fog.
1956 film.
Yes. 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 Oh,
Yeah,
bless you, man.
yeah.
Bless
It's
you.
yeah. It was the director. His name was Alain uh, Renai. Yeah, Alain Renai. He spelled his last name
Yes.
Resnis. Yeah, Night and Fog. Okay.
That's a brilliant film. Everybody watch that one.
Yeah, I
It's
found it.
30 okay, 32 minutes. I just looked up on Wikipedia. Not a long film, but a really
Yeah.
good one. I'll
Oh
just post
yes.
a link. I'll just post a link here. There we go. Posted the link in the private chat. Yeah, Night and Fog. Yeah, 1956. So it's even earlier than I remembered. Yeah, I think
Well, it
I
came out
think.
3 years after you were born.
Thank you so
Oh no,
much,
2
man.
years before you were born.
I think
Oh sure.
I think he was. I think as a director, he did some other important film work as well. Wow.
His name didn't sound familiar to me though. Elaine Renai. It didn't sound familiar.
He was actually active from
This must be the only
1946.
film that he was prominent for. Yeah. I was glad I found it for you. Anyway.
And actually, his career is actually 1946 to 2014. So that's like over 50
Nice.
years, right? So, yeah, he did a lot.
Yeah, that's
I think
48 years.
I think he was a very important French director. I don't remember any of his major films, but I think obviously with a 50 plus year career, he did a lot of stuff. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
it'd be hard enough to be an adult going through this shit, but to be like 10 years old or like 8, 9, whatever, that must have been just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you'd survive it, to be honest. Well, kids are very tough, though.
So I
Aren't they?
think hiding in here.
Yeah, not my first choice, but right into the shit. Oh, I forgot this scene. Oh, these poor children.
One thing's for sure, if
Ugh.
you were a child growing up in these concentration camps and then somehow survived, believe me, your trauma, their trauma, would be similar to
Oh,
what soldiers went through with
I've seen.
PTSD. With PTSD.
Yeah, well, I've seen videos like over the last 10 years of childhood survivors. They're in their 90s or whatever now, right? And they talk about it, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's pretty messed up, pretty messed up. But actually, the amazing thing is a lot of them have actually grown up to be productive and intelligent, and and active human beings. Like they actually said, "Fuck this shit. The Nazis won't defeat us. We survived. We overcame, and we're actually going to live good." A lot of them have families. They've built good lives, right, as adults. So it just shows you the resilience of the human race, of the human species. As individuals, no matter how much shit we go through, we can somehow survive.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring, really.
Oh,
Though I do find this. Oh
of course.
God, I've said it before. I'll say it again. This film's hard to watch for me because it's so brutal. Oh God, those cars! I think half the people in those railway cars died, didn't they? Before they even got to the camps, they just suffocated or died from heat stroke. Or oh God, that's
I
not
even
how
heard stories.
you should not treat human beings like this. God.
Do you understand why so many people, if they had a time machine, would go back in time and kill Adolf Hitler? Now you know why.
Well, yeah, if time travel was real, it'd be great. But as a certain captain has mentioned many times, it's not really real. So you can't really change things.
You wouldn't
Come on,
wish
want
I
to,
could,
even
though.
if you could.
I wish I could.
Look, that
Hell,
certain
I
captain,
mean,
he's only one. He's only
I
one
mean,
opinion. He's only one opinion. So, yeah.
you know what they say about opinions. Everybody has one.
Oh, Jesus.
I won't go on the last part. I gotta say, bless him for giving them a little bit of water, though. That could be
Yeah.
actually that little spray of water could be the difference between living and dying. Actually, Well, people should never be treated like this, though. It just appalls me.
We did a similar thing. Uh, Gorilla, I think, also remembers this. In the United States, they did a similar thing to the Japanese Americans that were, in
Not quite as
America.
brutal.
Yeah, not quite as brutal, but we did
No,
have
it was actually
Arizona. We had Papago Park.
yeah. We had internment camps here in the Okanagan actually too, but generally they weren't brutal. They were just like they just gather people up and lock them up in a confined area, right, in a camp, with barbed wire around it. And
Yeah.
basically, they were treated like people. There was no beatings or horrible shit or anything, but still, they had no
Well,
freedom, right?
Right, they had no freedom. Well, I can
They
tell
were
you.
they
See,
were
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
they were essentially considered enemy aliens, I guess would be the term, right?
Well, they were considered spies, right?
Well,
They thought
yeah,
they were inbred spies, into the United States. I'll tell
yeah,
you, there was horror stories of a kind in Arizona. Okay, because I lived there for most of my life. I was able to
right,
study some of the history of the Japanese Americans that were interned there. They were
okay,
interned near a base called Papago Park, and of course, they were surrounded by barbed wire and all this stuff, and they were told to do manual labor. Now we're talking about 100+ degree temperatures during the day. Only got down to about maybe 80 degrees at night, and these people were do manual
no, you're breaking up.
labor
You're breaking up again.
in the hot sun. Yes, there was a form of torture by the Japanese Americans.
uh, I don't. I I don't think his boss is buying into this. I get that feeling. He's not impressed by Jewish women being hot. He's a total party believer, that boy. Actually, he probably had himself neutered just to follow Hitler. That guy. Oh, fanatics! Good old fanatics.
I guess you would imagine that none of the Nazis were ever turned into eunuchs. That might have
Well,
avoided a lot of problems.
some of them probably should have been.
I agree.
Uh, Man, I gotta say though,
agree.
I gotta say, there's a lot of really perverted guys running the Nazi Party in Germany in those years. From what I've read, it's like some of those guys were really creepy, really creepy dudes. You know?
Well, I told you, PvP. I had a friend in college, and we were good friends for what, over a couple of years and stuff. And then one day, out of the blue, he tells me, "I can't be your friend anymore because I joined the neo-Nazi party," and I was a
What
total
the
shock. Yeah,
Jesus?
yeah,
Wow.
and and I mean, my mother like adopted him like a son. He was a big
Why
part of
the
our
hell
family.
would?
I mean, he was close.
Why the
Like,
hell would?
uh,
Why would anybody want to
that,
be a part of that? That's mind-boggling.
yeah, I know. I asked him that too, and he says, "Oh, they're just more passionate about what they do." And I said, "But you know all the atrocities they did. So why are you still deciding to go with them?" I don't know. He wasn't talking sense. I forget most of what he said, but I do know that he said he felt passionate about it, and they understood him. They understood him. He was having depression issues. He was going through a lot of things that I was going through when I was a kid, and yet they took him in under their wing, and he said, "I feel safer. I feel closer to this group of people that I know than I've ever felt with my own family
Wait, what
or
happened here?
anybody else." So
Well,
Did
I'd
you
say
read
you're
the
much
scroll?
you're much better way to be away from him. To be honest,
I did.
I wouldn't want to associate with someone like that. I really wouldn't.
Gorilla, this is during the retreat where they're basically destroying most of the evidence.
know
Yeah, you would have thought at the end of the war, some of the Nazis would have woken up and said, "This ain't gonna work."
just parted ways.
Oh, is that the dead girl? That's the girl with the red coat. She's dead, isn't she? That looked like the girl in the red coat from like an hour ago.
Yeah, she died quite a long time ago. They're digging up the bodies
Shit.
and incinerating them.
Shit. Well, so much for the hope for the next generation. Oh well.
Ah, crap.
Oh boy. Yeah, somehow Berlin's special treatment wouldn't make me too pleased. I'd say, "Oh well, just make it fast." Jesus, I've noticed Schindler does like to have a few drinks in this film. I don't blame him.
Yeah, well, during the war there, they made a special effort to bomb for Hitler's birthday. Every year they did massive bombing runs of multiple cities. I mean, the biggest bombing runs were always on April 20th.
Well, isn't that fun?
Yeah, they made sure to do it, and they made sure Berlin was one of the targets every year.
Oh God.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks to our boys, thanks to the guys over in America who were able to join with the RAF, they were able to modify their planes so that they could, first of all, so they could defeat the Luftwaffe, because those were badass people. I mean, they flew those Messerschmitts and so forth. But after they were able to stop them,
Yeah.
then they could go and have a free reign and and bomb every Berlin and all and Hamburg and all those different towns. Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, the
yeah.
Germans had some amazing technology. The trouble is, they didn't have enough of it because we had more, in quantity, right? Our planes might have not been as good. Our tanks might have not been as good, but we had way, way more of them. So we just overwhelmed them in numbers, basically, right?
Yeah,
Is
you're
what
welcome for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Another. Oh yeah, another booby scene.
Oh, no.
I cannot appreciate. There's no way I can not appreciate a nice set of boobs. I gotta say, oh my god, those are pretty
PvP.
nice. Those are pretty nice.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Oh well, indulge me. It is a Sunday evening, and I'm relaxing before work tomorrow. So,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
and I don't.
I don't know if you can call this relaxing.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm almost asleep.
Uh,
Yeah,
it's
that's
long.
that's the way.
20 times, Kurt?
It is a long film.
Yeah, but it's been about 20 years, 25 years, maybe.
But the film feels like it's 20 years long.
Well, that's the last time I saw it. It was when I was in high school, and that was early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should
I
have-
That's probably.
I
We
probably
should have
haven't
less
seen
than
it.
an hour left. We should
Yeah, it's
have
been
less
about-
than an hour left.
It's been about 30 for me, so yeah, it's a long, long time.
It's just.
Do they ever show in this movie? Oh, I don't know how to say this. Someone who dies, who deserves it.
No.
Really?
None of the Californians died.
Well, I think this movie definitely gives a great representation of good and evil. You know who the evil people are. You know who the good but innocent people are that are suffering, and you want the innocent to survive, and the evil to be destroyed. That's really what it's
Oh.
all about.
That's one way of looking at it, Mikey. But with all due respect, I wouldn't mind if they even showed a couple Jewish people who deserve to die.
Well, they're showing Schindler right there. He deserves it.
Like, I wonder how many people who were killed who were actually assholes and, sinners or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah,
Unless
like I
they're
said
small
before.
children, they're not innocent.
Well,
But just
like I
because
said,
it was a massacre, it's automatically assumed that everybody that died was actually a saint.
no, I'm not saying that at all. What I said earlier was that from what I read about Oskar Schindler, he was a businessman, but he was a con man. He was an angel, but he was also a devil. So yeah,
He
by
was
no
in no
means was he
way,
a saint.
shape, or form an angel.
Well, partly
He's
in
just
some
a
way.
guy who told a story, and more than likely, any people that he quote unquote saved, he was taking bribes to do it. It's just another way to make money.
Well, yeah, he embellished some of the things he said. It's not all canon and not all factual. He embellished on a lot of things. I'm just surprised that the movie was made in the first place about someone who embellished on his story of how he rescued so many people, and what he had to do it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, of course, they made it. It's a good story, and it fits the narrative. They're happy to push it.
Yeah, I guess back then it did.
Hey guys, what year was this film actually? Late 80s, early 90s?
94, I believe.
1993.
No, 3.
So this was a little bit after Empire of the Sun, I'm guessing then, right? Because what was Empire of the Sun was what, 89?
It's 30 years old.
I love Empire of the Sun. I think Empire of the Sun is one of Spielberg's best films. I think it's a great film. I mean, this is a very good film, but Empire for me is
Empire of the Sun was 87.
87. Yeah, I was at art school then, and I remember there's one lady that wasn't a big Spielberg fan, and I went to see it in the theater, and I said, "Hey, this is a great film." And she actually went and saw it on my recommendation, and she's like, "Damn, yeah, you're right. That was a great film." So that made me feel good, I think it was an awesome film, though. Damn Empire is a good film. Actually, girl, you should consider doing that one of these weekends.
Which one's that?
Steven Spielberg's film Empire of the Sun.
Okay.
It's good film. Very good film, man.
Yeah.
I know we were filled up for a while, for all the way.
Yeah, it says
until-
here. Okay, it says here that it's 1993 film or drama. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes long. So this thing is
Jesus
like long.
Christ!
Yeah. I'm reading right what it says here about it. Beth Davids plays Helen Hirsch. Emily Schindler is played by Carolyn Goodall, who plays his wife. So in the movie, and then you know the others: Ray Fiennes and Ben Kingsley. So. Then there's Jonathan Sagel. He plays Poldek Pfeffer, and Beatrice McCullough, who plays Ingrid. Beautiful blonde there. Yeah. So.
Nice music here in the background.
Well, yeah, John Williams wrote the score. And
This was
Itzhak
John
plays the
Williams
violin
music.
solo.
John Williams, right?
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
guessing. Yeah.
Yes. And Itzhak Stern, the famous violinist back then, did the solos, the violin solos.
It's Zach
I like
Roman or whatever his
score.
name was. I'm not a big,
Yeah,
I can appreciate classical, but I'm not that familiar with it. So I do admire classical musicians. Though.
Yeah. Well, back then, I loved Itzhak Stern because I loved his violin. And the other one that played a great cello was
Violins.
Gabriel.
String instruments can be amazing. Like, you know what I love is like when you get a good rock and roll song with a great string arrangement, laying over it. It can be quite an incredible experience. It's like some of David Bowie's songs. Like I'm a huge Bowie fan.
Yeah. Well, you just reminded me. There was a song. There's a song called "It's a Living Thing" by ELO, Jeff Lynne, and I mean it has a great violin section.
I remember that. Well, the ELO had a pretty good strings section in the band, though, right? Like
string arrangement. Yes, they did.
Yeah, they had a lot of good strings. But I remember a song like Bowie's, the last one on his Ziggy Stardust album, right? What was the one? Oh, God. I'm totally missing the title now. Oh, my brain. But it's the one where he says, it's the one where he goes, reach out. He goes, reach out your hands at the end of the song, right? Reach out your hands. And Mick Ronson's strings, they just pile up at the end and become overwhelmingly beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, Rock and Roll Suicide. That's the song.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay, yeah.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth. I mean, man, that guy could write some songs. I really like this scene where we're putting faces to names.
I do had rock and roll in the title though. Yeah, it's weird, though.
I do like that scene though. We're putting faces to names, and they're not just faceless, nameless people. They're real people at that point, right?
Yeah.
They're like people. They have a name. They have a face. You can identify them. You could relate to them. You could maybe have a friendship with them. But sadly, we know they're all going to get sent off to die, right?
I thought those were the names of the people that Schindler was saving.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people piling on that train. So I'm
Whereas
not sure.
everyone is just the ones they featured.
Every time I watch this, well, I've only watched this film maybe 3 times, and I might never watch it again because, honest to God, this is too tough. I just can't believe people could treat each other like this. It's just, it's just. Oh, This is tough. I take it Oscar wasn't interested in that Nazi sales pitch.
Nope.
That was good. Excuse me. A very polite way of saying fuck off.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, hot soup and bread. Damn, who wouldn't just be overjoyed with that to look forward to, right?
Yeah, well, let me starve you for 2 years, and let's see how forward you'd be. How you'd be looking forward to that.
Well, what kind of soup is it though? Is it good soup or is it just basically hot water?
Hey, well, if you've been getting starved and dehydrated for 2 years, you won't give a shit what kind it is.
And I just want to know: is the bread good bread or is it full of maggots or something? Right? Of course, I guess if it had maggots, you'd get some extra protein, right? I suppose in this scenario, though, you'd probably end up eating just about any damn bit of food you could find.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was that famous saying they had over the gates of Auschwitz? It was like, "Work will make you free." It's like, not really. It might keep you alive, but it's not going to make you free.
I have absolutely no idea what she's saying.
Yeah, it's like, thanks for those German subtitles. They really mean a hell of a lot to me that only speaks English. But oh well.
Yeah.
I guess, got to give them credit, though, for being authentic, right? Is that the crematorium in action? Huh.
Yeah.
That ain't
Supposed to
snow
be.
falling. That's the ashes of dead Jewish folks. Yeah, this film is a tribute to the cruelty that humanity can inflict on itself, and also inspiring how humanity can endure that cruelty. It's probably one reason I think it's a great film, really. But it's not an easy
Yeah.
film to watch. It's hard to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, that's where I was talking about that, where
I
they
think
shave
they
the head.
made this maybe an hour too long.
It could have been shorter, but yeah, I've got a few films on my list that could have been like at least 30 minutes shorter, but it is what it is, right? Spielberg ain't going to do a Redux anytime soon, I'm guessing.
Oh, you can't. They won't make this film nowadays.
Oh, not with that scene. Look at those boobies. We're not allowed to have good looking boobies in a movie anymore, are we?
I don't know. This movie here, I can't enjoy the boobies.
I don't even remember all these boobs. Like that's like the third or fourth time we've seen boobies, and I don't remember any of them. So
Oh man, you're missing a couple times.
it's been too long since I've seen this film, but this ain't a film you watch for the boobs anyway. Oh God, they're are they all going to be gassed here?
Yes.
I thought they were supposed to be workers. That's the worst thing.
Not at this point of the war.
They tell them, "Oh, you're just going to be, get clean, have a nice shower, a nice warm shower, because you haven't probably had one in months." And then, oh, evil. This is the epitome of evil.
I can think of a lot worse.
Really? Because I'm glad I can't. I think of all these wonderful lives.
I think
All these wonderful lives with so much potential for so many years ahead of them, and they're just being massacred. And just this disgusts me. Oh, maybe they're not. Oh, maybe it is. Is it actually showers? Well, maybe it wasn't a gas chamber after all. Because I thought Schindler had these people on his list of workers, right?
They already had that train.
well, they were protected workers. Yeah,
Well, wait and see. I guess.
I still think what I still think is appalling, and obviously a terrible atrocity is the
Seems
fact
like
that
they
6 million Jews. I'm just saying
seems
that
like
6 million Jews had to die, and Germans to this day who are still fucking alive say that they were under orders, and which is total bullshit. They knew what they were doing. No one had to have a
Yes,
gun
but
put
you
to
can't.
their head.
You can't hold enlisted responsible for the crimes of the officers and the government class. You would literally have to genocide the German people to do that.
But a lot of them knew what was going on, Resolute. It's not like they were ignorant.
They literally all of them knew what was going on, but
That's what I mean.
it's basically two wrongs don't make a right. To punish all those guilty, you'd have to genocide the other side, and then you go on so on and so forth till the end of time. That's where you get an eye for an eye.
I can understand
Supposed
exactly.
to limit the claims of revenge.
I can totally understand what you're saying there, Germ. It is ultimately the leaders and the commanders at the top of the chain of command that are the responsible parties, and they were guilty, and they were tried, and most of them were executed if not in prison for many years, right? I remember the Nuremberg trials. Um, and
Most
the
of them
sad thing,
didn't even get to that point.
most of them, yeah. But my point is, I am going to actually agree with you this time that the average foot soldier, the average guy on the field in the battles, he was just doing his soldier's duties, right? He was doing what a soldier had to do, and you know, if you believe in the chain of command, which I think any military has to operate under, um, you take your orders, and even if your orders are disgusting and horrible and you know dirty and nasty, you do follow them, right? So I don't think the field soldiers were guilty of any great evil, even though I do think they did create great evil. So I'm making a distinction there, right? It's like, okay, you guys did bullshit things, but you were ordered to do bullshit things. So I personally won't hold you responsible for doing bullshit things, but I will still never agree with the bullshit things that you guys did. Does that make any sense?
To a point, yeah.
Well, I hope it does.
Yeah, to me it
But
does. Makes
a
it's a
lot of
great
people
point.
like to grant a level of autonomy and willfulness that your average soldier just doesn't possess.
No, I just think your average battlefield soldier has very limited powers, right? He's
Limited
basically
power, limited knowledge, and let's
and
just
he's
face it,
under
limited thinking power.
even if he's the smartest guy on planet Earth, he's limited by the commander, that's giving his orders, right? So I can't fault or hate the average guy on the battlefield because they're doing what they have to do. They're soldiers, right? It's the fuckers on top. It's Hitler and all his underlings, and go down the chain of command. But the guys above the
Look,
average soldier are the assholes to blame, right?
we look. Most of us all know that when the Germans got the worst, they did get the worst of the Treaty of Versailles after World War One.
Oh,
The country was near economic bankruptcy because of the war
yeah,
they fought,
the
and
They're
they were
Germans.
beyond
suffering,
economic
and
destruction.
they were suffering, right, and they were suffering.
The
So I can
Germans got
understand. Well, no, but what
yeah.
I'm trying to say is I can understand that someone like Adolf Hitler, who fought in the First War but didn't do a lot, like you said, he was a courier, right? He was a messenger. But the thing is, he was so frustrated by what he thought was how his country, how Germany, had been completely, left over like a how do you call it? Like a orphan child. And he said, "Look, we need to resuscitate the country. We need to bring it back." And most people agreed and said, "Sure, we need to strengthen our borders. We need to get our economic structure back in order, our financial structure, our military might. We need to get all that back." And most people agreed. But then they didn't realize that this guy would eventually become homicidal, maniacal, dictator, uh, you know, of everything that's unholy, and a lot of people didn't even realize it until it was too late, and then the country was ruined after the United States and the Russians decided to take it apart. Said, "Okay, I'll take one piece, you take the other." So, you know, yeah, I don't blame the majority of the German people. I don't. But what I do blame is the people who said that they served, like you said, in the structure, in the military structure, BBB, and said we were just following orders. That
I'm
is
sorry.
total bullshit.
I'm totally fixated on this scene right now where he's trying to save his workers.
Yeah,
I think that little girl with the glasses. I'm really rooting for her. because I've noticed her, for the last hour, she's been in 2 or 3 scenes now, and she seems like this little girl with the glasses seems such a little sweetheart. I'm just saying, oh God, please, please let her live. You know, you do get attached once in a while to someone in a film, and it's like, oh, she's just. I think she's going to come through it. I do. I hope. Ugh. This is God. This is
What's the name of the girl?
What?
I don't.
What's
I
the
don't
name
know.
of the girl?
I
It's
think
unnamed character.
she's just an extra. I think, but well, I guess
Oh, okay.
to be honest, I've always had kind of a thing for girls with glasses, which is I don't mean to sound creepy, but that's probably why I picked her out of the
A little
crowd.
late for that.
It's like no, but she's kind of cute, like maybe in 10 years. But it's like
Awkward.
I just I'm thinking she's a character. If they put a bullet in her head, I'm going to be really pissed off. Let's put it that way. Because
I
I'm
don't
rooting for
think it's gonna
I'm
be a
rooting
bullet.
for her. I want to see her. Well, I want to see her live and prosper.
Oh, did you guys know that the real Emily Schindler had a cameo in this film? The actual wife of Oscar?
Wow. No.
Yeah.
Where?
It doesn't say. It just says she appeared in the film. It said that she
Damn,
was
well,
an extra. Yeah.
Probably missed that by now.
Probably.
An extra with the other 10,000. Well, thanks for that one. There's
I
a
know,
lot
but I
of
didn't-
bloody extras.
But
Oh, well.
that was the first that was the first I knew of it, that she was actually in it.
I
Oh.
never realized that. I never
Yeah.
realized that Schindler even had a relative that was alive when this was made. That's very cool.
Yeah, that was
Thanks.
Schindler's wife was in it. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Mikey. That's a very cool detail. I
Yeah.
every day I learn something is a good day, and I learned something today.
Wait, I'll bet I know which girl that is. Is it a girl in the red something? Is she in a red something? Has glasses?
I don't think it was the red girl because she was too young.
Oh, okay. It has the
It
actress
probably
that
would.
was a little
I'm
red.
guessing it would have
girl.
been an actress in her
It has
20s to be his wife. Just guessing.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter though.
No.
It's like
Yeah. Now this was interesting. One of the SS guys was played by Göth Otto. He was in Tomorrow Never Dies. He was the guy who said, "I prepared for your unpleasant death, Mr. Bond." That big guy. That was my son. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know he was in this film. So see, I just learned something new. That
Wait,
Bond villain
the
was
guy-
in this film.
The big German guy from Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yeah, he's in. Yes. God's
The
Son.
guy that
He's in
Bond
this
killed
film.
at the very end?
I think so. He's an SS guy. They say he
is that
plays
her? Is that Mrs. Schindler?
SS. Yeah. Yeah,
are people still alive from like the concentration camps?
Well, that couldn't be Mrs. Schindler. It's got to be an actress because she would have been very old by the time this film was made.
Right. She's an old lady, though.
Yeah, she must have been like in her 80s or something when this was made.
Yeah, Daniel, that was the big guy that fought Bond at the end on the missile, and yeah, he played a Plasno SS guy in Plasno. That's one of those towns. He's briefly in the movie. Yeah, but that's cool. God's Auto. Yeah, it's funny how you find out these weird things. It's like, huh, I never thought that Oscar's real life wife Emily was in it. She was, so I was like, oh, okay.
I do have to say, though, this
Makes
is
sense.
a damn long film.
Yeah.
I thought
I told
Indy.
you it's 3 hours and 15 minutes long. It's
That's
3 hours
insane.
and 15 minutes long.
I thought Indy 5 was long in the theater, but this is like Jesus.
Oh,
man.
no. 85 doesn't even come close to this film. This film is long.
No, this is
Very
like
long.
This is like pay your rent, pay your bills before you go to this film because it'll be a week before you get out of the theater.
before you get out.
By
And
the
bring
time
plenty of
you finish,
tissues.
uh,
And bring plenty of tissues if you're emotional and in a bad way. And you don't want to see people die needlessly. It's just
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm not a fan of films that are over 2 hours, to be honest.
It all depends
Yeah,
on the film.
Even though when it's a good film like this, I can deal with it, right? I can watch and go, okay, it's good.
Is that Liam Neeson?
But
Yeah, Liam
I
Neeson is
generally
Oskar Schindler in this, Daniel.
I
Liam
generally like a
Neeson, yeah.
film that's under 2 hours, to be honest. Hey, we're
Well,
back
only
Now,
reason-
Daniel,
into
only-
color. Back into color for a second there.
Yeah. The only reason that most films are an hour and a half is because that way they can fit in more films per day into a theater, more watches.
Exactly. Exactly. If they're 90-minute films, you can get that extra film in
Yeah.
at the end of the night, right? That's extra bucks.
Yeah, it's
Although
all calculation.
it wouldn't help though, because I went to Indy 5 on a Saturday at like 6 o'clock, and there were 30 people in the cinema with me. Let's put it this way: it was not the monster hit of the season. So, even though the great thing was everybody in the theater, we were all actually laughing and joking. There's like a couple about 10 feet away from me, and we were laughing and joking about all the jokes and having a great time together. So, I just don't get the hate on the film personally. I had fun at the theater, and everybody else was loving it. So, I don't know.
I had the same thing. I had the same thing. PvP. The first time I saw it, there was a couple of teenagers that were in there. They had to do it as part of a report. I remember
really?
a girl saying to me,
Wow.
that, yeah, she had to do it as part of a
Cool.
report. And I said, "So what do you think?" And she says, "Oh my God." She says, "I didn't realize there was nudity in a Spielberg film." I said, "Yeah, there is going to be nudity, but what does it matter? I mean, the story it's more about the story and less about the nudity you see in it." Because she wasn't used to that. I guess she hadn't seen enough Spielberg films to be used to it. But
Maybe
I said,
not
well,
even.
yeah, it's supposed to be dark.
per-
Yeah.
Perhaps not enough films in general. I would guess.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I
even
just
even when even when Spielberg did Jaws in 1975, do you actually see the girl fully nude, like running down the beach and then jumping in the water and doing whatever? You really
I
don't
don't.
see it. It's kind of
We don't.
she's kind of shaded. You don't really know. I mean, that's
No,
supposed to
no.
be yeah.
Well, back then, back in '70s, there was very little nudity, right?
Yeah, so
And the whole thing with the girl that jumped into the ocean was she was shark bait that got eaten in a horrible, horrible way. That was a
oh yeah,
horrific scene.
yeah.
That scene could still give me nightmares if I think about it. Like it was like, oh my god,
Oh man,
Jaws was an incredible film,
yeah.
incredible, great film, great, very terrifying. Sad thing is, it gave sharks a bad reputation for decades after that, and people wanted to go out and kill them. And I think sharks are they're just a part of the eco chain, right? They do their thing. I mean, they're not
It
evil
had
per
the
se.
right. It had an opposite effect on me. I mean, I saw it when I was 10 years old, and and I still, even to this day, I'll still just brazenly go into the ocean. I won't even. I mean, I know what's in there. I mean, I already know what's in the ocean, so I figure, what the hell, I'm just gonna swim around. And if a great white shark really wants to dive into me and eat me like I'm a seal, well, fuck it. Then I guess I deserve to die. So that was my attitude. I think some of my brother was afraid.
Well, I did like the storyline in Jaws when they got the characters together on the boat,
You
right? What was it? What the hell were the names? Queeg and the scientist guy. I can't even remember them. I haven't seen that film
Go
in
in
years.
initially, like
So
after
there was basically there was the three of them on the boat, right?
so. Come on, Phil.
There were three of them on the boat. They all kind of
Care.
hated each other's guts, and
So,
eventually they kind of got along, and it was kind of awesome. And then the old sea captain ended up getting eaten by the damn shark, which was pretty horrible.
Quint.
Yeah,
Quint,
Quint,
yes.
that's the guy.
But Shaw played great.
I like Quint.
I love
Quint was,
Shaw. I love Shaw.
Quint was very cool, and when he got eaten, chomped, that kind of pissed me off, to be honest, because I didn't want Quint to die.
Well, come on,
he was a fun guy. Well, let's put it this way: if I could go out and party if I go party on the weekend with Quint, I would certainly sign up. He's my kind of dude.
Yeah, I but I really did like Richard Dreyfuss playing the nerd in the film. Though.
Dreyfuss,
the nerd biologist.
Dreyfuss is great in that film. I always thought Dreyfuss was an excellent actor. He just didn't. The one problem with Dreyfuss is he never got enough great roles, I think. He was like Burning Bright in the 70s, and then it's like he disappeared, right?
Yeah, well, Richard Dreyfuss also was quite picky about what roles he wanted to play. So if he ever did get chosen for a role, he really researched it. He really did stuff on it. So, yeah, he was picky. And that's why he didn't get to do it.
My advice to an actor, do not be picky. Just get the damn work and the money when you can. That's what I would do personally. 'Cause let's face it.
I wanted to ask Daniel.
Let's face it. You could list 100 actors we all love. Probably 90% of them are known for one or two roles in their whole career that they played, and the rest of it is like forgettable, right? Or even if it's good, it's forgettable to most folks. So I'd say take every damn job you can get. Do your best at it, and most of the good actors do, of course. But being an actor is a tough, bloody profession, really.
I got to see that firsthand, both in a movie setting and a television series setting. So believe me, yes, exactly what you're saying. It's very hard for them, for actors and actresses both. Just to get through a day of filming. Because sometimes they'll only do certain scenes, right? And then they'll just,
Oh, yeah, you're breaking up again.
with us
Yeah, I think your mic's gone.
extras for like 10 hours, 12 hours, and there's just something going on, and then there's you almost done, Gorilla?
What?
We must be getting.
Is the movie almost done? Yeah.
We must be getting close to the end.
He's just heading out now.
I'm getting tired, so I hope this ends soon.
Yeah, that's a silly question. Sorry. Oh, hey, Daniel. I want you to do a mental picture, okay? So Oskar Schindler played by Liam Neeson. Now, think 6 years later, and he plays Qui-Gon Jinn in the first The Phantom Menace. So look at him now in Schindler, and then look at him as Qui-Gon Jinn. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty good. He looks doesn't really age very much.
Right. Okay. Did you see any of the Taken films?
Nope.
Okay. Well, if you see
Those
him in
are
the Taken films,
significantly after, though.
yeah. Well, I just remember in Qui-Gon, him playing Qui-Gon Jinn in Phantom Menace. I thought, okay, he's got his hair done some weird way, but he just looked
Yeah.
like a normal person in Schindler. So, yeah.
For someone who's supposed to be on the run, he's taking an awful long time to get his ass on the road.
Well, he's not a criminal until midnight.
Yeah. Uh, it's one of those difficult docudramas which paint him either as a hero or as an anti-hero. And I'm just saying, you don't see that before this movie. You might see it in a few more movies after this, but not a lot before.
This is where he takes a little bit too much dramatic license. He may have been relatively kind, but he's still their slaver.
Yeah, we gotta be getting close to the end because I think the show's Graven here pretty soon.
Excuse me.
Yeah, are we just about at the end here? I can't remember because.
Yeah.
Well, the war's
You can
over,
stop
so
it. Yeah. You can stop it, I think, Gorilla.
I think I'm going to pop off soon because it's.
Yeah. You got like
Alright,
five, less
wanna
than
plug
5
yourself?
minutes.
Jesus Christ, look at this. Amazing. Is there something about the massive humanity like this that is very emotionally moving? We're all the same, aren't we? You know, we all need to breathe, we all need to eat, we all need to try and live as the best we can. I find this is very moving. Very moving. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's very emotion based. A lot of tragic moments. It's like they're captured in time.
It's about the human spirit, right, Mikey? How the human spirit can persevere in the most god awful
Yeah,
situations. We can survive, we can overcome, we can be better people, and we can actually build good lives even though we've gone through trauma. And of course, not for everybody. Some of those poor people were massacred and killed brutally, but I think you know my point, right? This is a good scene.
This is essentially the end of the movie.
I get too damn emotional watching this shit, though. I do. I guess basically,
there was a.
well, I'm a humanist, right? At
Go
heart,
ahead, PvP.
I think humans have the power to create and build and solve anything that they want to, if they put their mind to it. That's my belief.
Unfortunately, I know better.
Here you go.
You're a cynic. You're a cynic. I'm not one.
Amon Göth to the rest of the nation. Here you go. This is what you were looking for, I think, Russ.
Well, the bad guys did get some of what they deserved.
Okay, so this is what LGG. Wait, this is what LGG was asking. He's still awake.
Yeah, there we go. At least somebody died who
Jay
deserved it.
Schindler kind of was a fuck up, eh? As a businessman. Well, that's all right. You got to plant a tree at least.
Apparently, the tree's still alive.
Well, damn, that's
it's
something.
still there. It's still there, yeah, to this day.
And you can,
Never
if you
been
want
taken down.
you want to spend $5,000 to fly over to water the tree, you can do that.
Yeah. And here's all the Schindler's Jews here.
This is actually a really cool ending because these are all the real people that survived and family and survivors. This is actually this is probably one of my. That's the girl with the glasses. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I don't understand the significance of the rock.
I think it has something to do. It's just like maybe a basic symbol of surviving. I'm not sure.
Google it.
I'm not sure either, Gorilla. Maybe
Here, I'll
you
Google
want
it.
to look it up, but
Rocks
think
are
it has
cheaper than
something-
flowers.
it's obviously symbolic, right?
The rocks are usually for strength. A rock is a sturdy
I
and
just find this
strong
ending.
symbol.
This ending. These are the actual real folks that survived that horrible time, and I just think it's very moving to see them. Paying
It's kind of like a blessing. They're hoping that the rock would become be used in God's sling.
They're basically paying tribute to the man who saved them.
That's right.
It's beautiful.
Oh, Daniel, can you let us know? Daniel, can you let us know what you thought of the film? Because this was your first time seeing it.
Very beautiful.
It was good. I liked it.
I mean, how many
Yeah,
men
if we
can
get
say?
together with if we get together with Steampunk, I hope that you can come with us, PvP, and Daniel, we can discuss the after effects of the film. You've now seen it, how important it is.
So this is the 1990s?
Yeah, it came out in
1993.
1993, Daniel. Yeah, it's 30 years old. This thing just celebrated its 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I'm like these people in here. They're supposed to be like in the 90s?
No, they're all dead now, obviously. But these are the real. These were the real
film
survivors.
Like 1991,
These were the
1992.
folks that actually survived the concentration camps back in 1993. Of course, most of them are probably passed on now, but yeah.
Well, this is supposed to be like in '74. I'm guessing.
Now.
I'm wondering if he was just freshly buried.
Came out. And it was when
Oh yeah, don't forget this is like 30 years ago. So a lot of these people were probably like in their 90s then, and they were still alive, right, and healthy. But obviously, after another 30 years, they're probably mostly dead, unless they're 100 and something years old by now.
Well, I'll guarantee you, almost all of them are dead.
I just thought this was very touching, though. This the end of this movie always just hit me right in the heart. Hit me in the heart like an arrow. You know, it's like, oh, so good. And the 6 million that were murdered. I can't put it into words.
Well, if you think of it, like 6 million were murdered, but yeah, nobody talks about the 20 million that Stalin murdered or the 50 million that Mao Zedong pretty much killed.
Oh, they do. They do. It's just that
Oh
this.
no, they don't. Especially the Chinese.
Well, I've read a lot about those murders personally over the years, so I'm aware of it.
Hey, wait,
But
Ben
Yeah, but you
Kingsley?
don't hear about it nearly as bad as the Holocaust.
well, let's face it, the Holocaust was one of those, things in history that was so horrific it got a lot of attention, right?
Their heritage was literally almost wiped out.
Well,
You know,
shit.
if
I
they
mean,
didn't, if a lot of them didn't emigrate, if a lot of them didn't emigrate back to Israel, you'd have to say the entire people would have been wiped off the face of the earth.
well, let's
So,
face
There
it
were
too.
more
I
than 10
mean,
for a
there were millions of Jews in the Americas at the time.
the Allied forces. I think Canada joined the war about a week after Poland was invaded. We joined very quickly, and
oh
we had a
yes,
small
You
military.
were Shanghai
Actually,
in
World
the
War II
Great
was one of the
Great War.
greatest things for Canada ever because our military went from quite small to quite huge. Like our numbers increased very dramatically during World War II, and well, I don't have to mention, do I, that Star Trek's Scotty was one of those
and
guys that was on Juno Beach that day when he got his finger shot off, and
not
he
just his
actually,
finger.
I think he killed like 5 Nazis or whatever. Like, pretty awesome dude,
He
right?
he went. What he did is he went. Like I said, he went with a bunch of a small regiment. They were going up the beach. He
Yeah,
gets first. He
Juno.
gets his yeah. First, he gets his finger shot off. Then he gets both his legs. Both his legs were shot. Then some of
Yep.
his body was shot. By the time they got to the German gun emplacement, which was put there on the beach to shoot them to mow them down, his regiment and him overran the gun emplacement and killed every single German. So he got
Yeah,
an award for that.
he
He
was
got
amazing.
he got the form of a Purple Heart, I think it was. I'm not sure what they give
Duhan,
in
Du,
Canada, but yeah.
Duhan was a beast that day. And he's
Oh, he was a
from
bastard.
my province. He's born in New Westminster, which is like a 4-hour drive from where I live, right?
Yeah, that's
And it's like, oh man, he's probably buried in the States somewhere, but I wish he was buried here because if
oh
he
no
was, I'd go
no
lay
James
roses on his grave.
no James Stewart's ashes were sent up in space.
Oh right,
Scott is
Part of
up
yeah,
it.
there.
yeah,
Yeah, he's up
right.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no physical place to honor him, but I honor him in my heart every day because I love Scotty. Scotty, you gotta love. I love Kirk. I love Spock. I love McCoy. But number 4 in my heart will always be Scotty. Scotty's great. Mm. But yeah. Oh. Is everybody leaving? Oh shit.
Oh yeah, the Cosby room should be shutting
Uh,
down.
yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I was just gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
How did
Thank
you?
you, LDG, for taking over though.
Yeah, it worked out well. And you saw the film before, right, Gorilla?
Yeah,
It's a good film, but it's got very, very much. For me, it's got like zero rewatchability. It's just like,
you rewatched it tonight.
oh
No.
yeah, I don't mind rewatching it again, just to join in. But it is a film that's
Thank
tough to
you,
watch.
Joe.
N-
Thank you,
Not
Joe.
not a fun film.
LG.
Not a fun film in any way. But a good film. I think an important film. I think Spielberg was trying to make a statement with this film, and I think he did. I still think it could have been trimmed a lot shorter, but
At
that's
least an
my
hour.
that's my opinion
At least
on
an
any
hour.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I think I agree with Resolute. I think that's probably, for me anyway, that's probably the only thing I would have done is cut it back by a full hour at least. Yeah,
yeah.
I would have done that.
Too many there's too many damn films that overstay their welcome, right? It's like, come on, guys, this is a good story and I'm enjoying it, but I don't need to have it shoved in my face for 2.5 or 3 hours. Like, just cut it down to two, and I'd be a more happy camper, right? So,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
well.
Well, here's,
Well,
yeah. Well, you know
unfortunately,
what's
this was Spielberg's era of trying to build up his credentials with mainly the state of Israel because he wanted to get in good and get some property over there and do some filming.
Well, I guess politics does come into things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
most of
For
it
some
does.
reason, he wasn't exactly their favorite person at the time.
Yeah, I never understood that. Why was that Resolute? Why did
I have
the Jews
no
not
idea.
appreciate
It wasn't Jews as a whole, but it is the state of Israel that didn't have a great opinion of him.
Well, Israel's a whole topic that I don't want to get into personally, but it's pretty complex. There's a lot of weird shit going on there for many, many years. Um, but I just want to quickly mention another Spielberg film before I leave. Was probably one of my favorites he ever did was Empire of the Sun back in 1987. It's a long film too. That's over 2.5 hours, but it's a brilliant, brilliant film. I mean, if you want to see a film with you know, World War II, nuclear explosions, it's a good one. It's a good one. Like, check it out, guys, because it's a
Yeah.
great film.
All right. Well, let's start plugging everybody here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm just about tired.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim's Landscaping LLC, #1 Commodore Productions, for coming. He has some fan films and stuff and videos on his channel. Make sure to check him out. Thank you, Hakeem, for coming. Thank you, the Trustee E8, for coming. He does live streams almost every day. Here seems like there, and everybody else is on the panel. It looks like. All right, let's go since he's tired.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head out, Gorilla. You guys know that I'm just doing the rock and roll playlist stuff, so
Alrighty.
I think I'll just crash. So,
Yeah.
well, it's great fun though. Great,
Yeah.
great, great fun.
Yeah, Pickles, what you got going on?
He may have dozed.
Yeah.
He may have
Oh, yeah.
passed out.
Yeah. Well, if you ever need IT help or need a place to hang out, there's always the Underground at freethenet.org/underground. There. He says he got the link fixed there. Mikey, what you got going on?
Well, first of all, I do have my live stream. My next movie review will be about Oppenheimer. That's going to come on August the 1st. I haven't set up the time yet, so just keep an eye out. Keep the notifications on, and I'll have the time set up on the 1st for that. Also, I want to mention that Gorilla's got a cringeworthy film set up for me for next Thursday. This coming Thursday, I should say. Yeah, at 8 o'clock Eastern. So, I'll prepare myself for that. Also, I guess, yeah, I've come to the point now where once in a while I'm able to just do a stream when I can think of something to talk about. And so, once in a while you'll see me do a stream and it'll just be off, spur of the moment like you do sometimes, Gorilla. And, just say about, talk about anything really, But other than that, check out my channel. I think Gorilla, you might have hit 550 subs. And me, I'm only 9 subs away from 100. So That's saying a lot that your channel's so popular. You know,
It's not that popular.
I think it is.
Yeah, I did hit 550 there.
Yay!
Nice
I'm
going,
so happy
Gorilla.
for you.
Yeah.
That's going. Yeah, we need to celebrate that, Gorilla. Maybe we could do that with the cringeworthy thing on Thursday. Celebrate your 550 subs.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a reason.
Yeah, so, Jerm, what you got going on?
Next Saturday morning,
Hey,
it will be Wing Commander Academy.
Alrighty. I should be there.
Daniel, what
Daniel, what do you got going on?
It's just I'm waiting. I'm trying to get a stream going on with my friend Steampunk. It's just that sometimes he doesn't call back, and he doesn't message back. So whatever, I'm trying my best.
Yeah, okay. As for me, we got Justified's episodes 3 and 4 from season 1. Watch party on Wednesday. Thursday, we're having Cringe Fest number 2, or actually, it'll be Cringe Fest number. We'll call it Cringe Fest number 1 because the first one wasn't really called that. So, where we are watching Megaforce from 1984. Friday, Walton's review. Then on Saturday, Babylon 5. Then Sunday is was it Platoon? Yeah, I think it's Platoon. So with that, you guys have a good
Platoon,
night.
yeah. Uh-huh.